1. We are live. Hello and welcome to Cricket Adda Presents Cricket Addicts Season 2, Episode 6. And three people have joined me on the panel. Let's start with the one and only the man, the myth, the legend, Kevin, with his thinking cap on. Kevin, how are you? We are back after a long time. We had a huge gap, a lot of cricket in between, but there is a lot of things to discuss as well today.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I had to renegotiate the contract and take the pay cuts to finally feature on the podcast. And I appreciate the opportunity to be back. And the dollar is fluctuating, but it's good to be back. And I'm happy that we're able to to negotiate and come to a better deal. So I'm hoping we'll have a longer season this time, and we have a lot of good topics to cover as well in the off season. So we'll keep
Yeah,
you entertained.
absolutely. Absolutely, we had a budget issue. That's why Kevin and a lot of people were not there, but now we are back. Next on the panel is the guy who has played with Sai Sudarshan in division cricket and who might replace Sai Sudarshan in the test squad for the Sri Lanka tour. Nikhil Vishwanath, hi, how are you? Closest to Sri Lanka is your home from Chennai. How long is the flight to Gaul from the place where you are right now?
Irrespective of how short the flight is, both Chennai boys, Saisu and Washi are going to play. So it's a big miss there. But doing good, man. Second time on this podcast. Excited to discuss India's stocks and stongs. So let's see how it goes.
Shabby has a lot to discuss as well. I saw your stories about Rohit Sharma. We'll get to that point. We'll get to that whole controversy, the Lord Century and stuff, which we need to discuss. But let's start with that tour, in fact, Shabby. India's tour of Ireland and England. And what a surprise it was. We managed to win just one game in 10 matches, 7 T20 internationals, seven T20 internationals, and India hasn't won a single game. This is the same India which won the T20 World Cup 4 months ago in March. That was under Surya Kumar Yadav. This is under Shreyas Iyer. Kevin, let's go to you. Shabby, if you are, yes, available. Your first thoughts, what happened there? Seven T20 internationals, no wins. And Gambhir is saying it's a transition.
Yeah, I mean, change of captain, change of fortunes is what I can say at the start. So T20s were definitely a shocker. More in the Ireland, definitely. It's not so in the England. But transition was only happened in the captaincy and nothing else. To be very honest, not a one or two more players got changed apart from the captain. So the reasoning was definitely false, or should I say the illogical reasoning given by our coach. But again, just what we can say the complacency that comes up after the World Cup, or some lethargic attitude, or some tired hands, tired bodies that comes up after the World Cup and the IPL. That's what can be the logical reasoning, I would say here, and that's what happened. But again, we definitely did not deserve that bad of a hammering that we couldn't win at least a single T20 by the T20 team, and the ODI that we won, that was only because of the we had some legends in the team which came back, the legends that our coaches and the selectors love a lot. So all that was the what happened in the UK, and that was really shocking for all of us.
Kevin, if you can jump in here, change of captain, yes, but was it also that the fact that India hadn't played outside Asia, I would say, probably just a tour in South Africa where there were flat pitches and Tilak and Sanju got those centuries, if you remember. Apart from that, mostly in India, Dubai, we had one tour in Australia, but even that was like a four match T20I series. One got washed out, if I remember correctly. So how do you see this? Because is this a serious concern? Do you think this team will get back to winning ways in T20 internationals?
They can get back. If you look at the structure of how that team was made up, and so we won the World Cup with a certain set of players, and then we have the IPL. A lot of new names pop up, and we have this. We are delusional where we feel that our B team and C team is equally good enough as well as our international teams. And don't get me wrong, they really are good, but they are inexperienced. When you're playing in foreign conditions and you are expected to play a particular brand of cricket without knowing the conditions, you're bound to fail. If you see that team and if you see that structure, I'm a bit confused because first of all, you have a new captain, you have a new vice captain, and you have a new set of bowlers who are going to play for the first time. You know, so it's very tough on the leadership group also. And suddenly you have a player like Kishan who has led Jharkhand to a T20 title. He's not considered despite him doing really well. You also have Akshar Patel, who was vice captain during your World Cup winning campaign, and he is now suddenly not in a leadership role. So when you have a few senior players and they're pushed to the side, and your best bowlers are not there, there's no Bumrah, there's no Varun Chakrabarti. Ravi Bishnoi was considered a second spinner back in 2025, before the Champions Trophy, and suddenly he was pushed out of the team because Gambhir came in and you brought in Varun Chakrabarti, and he didn't have a good season. Ravi Bishnoi, he started off, in the IPL, did a bit well, and for some reason was dropped by Rajasthan. So a player who's dropped by his IPL team makes a comeback into the T20 winning team, and he's expected to perform. So it I think what happened is we were moving too many things, and the foundations were not strong. So this is so when there's a gentle breeze in Ireland, and the entire structure collapsed, which is sad. But what we've done is we've just handed out debut caps to a lot of Indian players, and they might not be able to be retained as uncapped players in 2028. That's the only thing that I see. But it was a little bit embarrassing because we were not able to play a good brand of cricket. We just couldn't perform because we were. It seemed like we were a bit overconfident, and at the end of the day, some players may have got good stats, but the impact they had nothing to do on the game. So maybe we might just want to to just take a break, go back to playing some good warm up games, build the confidence because the team is now low on confidence. There's a lot of insecurity, but it was sad, and I was very disappointed that you had you're a man of the tournament after three matches to be dropped for we say the 14-year-old 15-year-old Vaibhav Suryanshi is really good and talented, but when you're dropping a guy who has 31 years, who's at an age of 31, 32, and has a lot of experience after three failures, what is the message you're sending to the team and to the team management? Like if you could be good, you could be talented, you helped us win a World Cup, but if you're out of form, you're out of the team. And it's very sad from from Gambhir and the management team that you didn't consider Sanju Samson for, because he plays only one format. He had a decent IPL, but for some reason you felt he was not good enough. So it's tough. I'm very curious to see how they build up on this. There is time, but I feel the captain also needs to have a better say in the players that he's getting, and we should not persist and prolong with and be obsessed with the title of all rounders. There are players who do a bit of both, but when you're under pressure, are you going to go to a Suryan Shedge or a Shivam Dubey to bowl you a couple of overs, or even for that matter, Tilak Verma or Abhishek Sharma? Like Abhishek Sharma is started playing because he could bowl. He was preferred over Jaiswal because he had that edge, and now I don't see him bowl at all. So what's happening there? Because if he can chip in with a few overs, then you can look at maybe dropping one of Dubey or Suryan Shedge and getting in a proper batsman or a proper bowler. But the structure it's not looking good. Maybe in another IPL, and we might have a better squad to pick for. But I think the focus now should be on ODI cricket.
Yeah, the focus should be on ODIs. But before that, Nikhil, just a couple of things on the T20I team before we end this discussion. Kevin briefly mentioned that Sanju Samson, Vaibhav Suryavanshi, musical chairs at the top of the order. So Sanju played three T20Is, if I'm wrong, two in Ireland, one in England. Then Vaibhav played three T20Is. And then Sanju came back for that last T20I. And then obviously Vaibhav played those three against Zimbabwe. What was happening there? If you could try and dissect that, because now Abhishek Sharma hasn't scored runs in all of this. Between these two openers, Abhishek Sharma didn't score any runs in Zimbabwe and in the last few T20Is in England. So is his position in doubt? And also on Tilak Verma, what are your thoughts on him? Because his strike rate has always been an issue. Should he bat at three? Should he bat at six? Or should he not be in the Indian team and they can find a replacement, as in like Rajat Patidar? And another point, this was about the batting. Jasprit Bumrah and Hardik Pandya, these two key players, were they the only reason India didn't win, or it's more to that?
Yeah, starting with the batting, yeah, musical chair is probably the best way to describe this. I think at this point, including the media, everyone knows that if you were going to introduce Vaibhav to this format and play for India colours, Ireland is probably an easier start compared to starting him in England. And if you're going to back and say, okay, Sanju, you're going to be a primary opener, where there's world number one Abhishek Sharma at the other end, and if that's the player you're going to replace, doesn't send the right message. What part is confusing is when it comes to multinational tournaments, they always go with senior players. It makes sense, but again, they back Sanju as the opener for Asian Games. They back Sanju as the opener for if there's something like an Asia Cup, they're going to go with him. Maybe the way they should have done it is with zero warm-up games in Ireland, start with your primary 11, with your batting order and your bowling order. I mean, not having Bumrah and Hardik Pandya is a big miss. So should have started with Samson and be like, okay, this is a 2-match series. Or if it's England, it's a 4-match series where 2 games or 3 games with Samson and then 1 for Suryaji. So it's a smoother start for him as well. It's not a fear factor for Suryavanshi at all. We've seen him smack everybody around the park in the IPL, but different format, different pressures when you play for the national team, different conditions altogether. Could have been easier for him because once what does it mean for this 15-year-old? Okay, you don't perform for 3 games and you're out again, and the person you're going to be replaced with is the player of the tournament. Like, it's hard for either of them here. I feel the message should have been like clear from the start for them at least. And to answer your question, was the reason that we didn't have Bumrah or Hardik Pandya, and is that why we lost? To be straightforward, the reason we won the World Cup is because we had Hardik Pandya and Bumrah. That's it. Like, India is a champion team. They defended the World Cup mostly at home. But no, we had Bumrah and then we had Hardik Pandya to play almost a 4-dimensional role, being a semi-vice captain, bowling those hard overs and into the wicket. And whenever you want one, except the final, I guess he had almost a perfect game in every single game in the World Cup. Without that, what factor does an out-of-form Akshar and unfortunately a not so good Dubey is giving? Because Dubey is impact player has ruined all these all-rounders careers in the IPL. Dubey should be a guaranteed 2-over medium pacer. If not, in the absence of Pandya and Nitish Kumar Reddy, that's a big gap to fill. But that's something, I mean, this is a cycle, and we know they're going to be focusing on ODI cricket, but every 2-year T20 World Cup cycle means that we need to look for those pace at all-rounders, especially if you're going to be playing in Sena conditions. Anywhere in Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, you need that 4th pacer rather than a 3rd spinner. We know our resources are plenty. Abhishek Sharma can both spin, and Tilak Verma is now branded as an off spinner like what Raina was for India and white ball cricket. But Tilak Verma is the one big difference I see from what Raina had was it seems that Tilak is solely a pace basher. His spin numbers have been embarrassingly low, and if you're a middle order batter, you gotta play spin. Either you bat at you open the batting almost, or you go down to number 7, which was a change which Sky did for him. Play at 6, give me those 3 overs of pace when they bowl in the dead, give me 30 runs. That was a phenomenal change. That was also possible because of the strength which Dubey and Hardik gave you in the middle as spin hitters. So I was even checking the batting order for what we had in Ireland. Our top 7 was almost the same, other than Samson not playing. Like, you had Abhishek, you had Tilak, you had Washi, who was also the backup player in the World Cup. You didn't even go for like an outrageously new player there. These are all known resources. I think Ireland series was maybe a one-off in the sense that we directly came from playing in subcontinent conditions for 5 months, I guess, a World Cup and an IPL where none of them had a break. With 0 warm-up games, you just throw them into this wind. Good like Kevin said, like the entire structure just collapsed. Like, batting order was a big concern. Bowling, I feel like India's white ball resources are thin, but you got 5 primary fast bowlers. It seems Siraj is out of the T20 equation for now. They just don't consider him anymore. So if Hardik Bumrah apart, you need an informed Ashdeep. Absolutely out of form. It's so sad. The joint highest wicket taker in T20 cricket in the previous cycle is not getting any swing even in Ireland. It's concerning for us because he's the only left arm resource we have, which has always been a problem for India. I mean, it's not going to be a big concern. We always have been lacking left arm pacers in that sense. But who is a good backup who is also young? Prince Yadav has been exceptional in both ODI and T20 cricket, so it's promising there. Hopefully, Gambhir and co or whoever the new coach is going to be in world cricket, it seems they're going to do strict coaching at this point. Whoever it is, they need to back a player, play them for two home series, two away series, see how they do, and then do the chop and changing. Like if you're gonna again remove your opener for 3 games and then play someone else for 3 games, there's no rhythm at all. Like as much as it's important for a fast bowler, batters need that rhythm as well. So I really hope they tackle that.
Lot of questions there for the T20I team. But the T20 World Cup is in 2028. Yes, we have the Asian Games this year, but I don't think India take that as seriously. They are probably with the full strength side, but obviously the T20 World Cup is in 2028. But the World Cup, which is next year, is the ODI World Cup. And Shabby, let's get to the point here. We had three ODIs in England apart from the T20Is which we played in Ireland and England. We have lost that series as well, 1-2. We managed to win one game. That was the first game. That was because of some good fast bowling. But apart from that, game two, we didn't bat well. Game three, we leaked 380 runs. We did bat extremely well. But the controversy between ODI 2 and ODI 3, Shabby, I would like to put you on the spot here, was about India's former captain Rohit Sharma, and there were reports suggesting that Lords will be his last ODI for India or last game for India because he obviously doesn't play the other two formats. And what he did was score a brilliant century to to help India get really close to that target. Obviously, we couldn't chase it down because he himself got out at one point, and even Kohli couldn't get going. And then obviously the later batters couldn't score as well. But Shabby, your thoughts on Rohit Sharma? What does the future hold for him? Does that century allow him another rope? Where there was there any sense in those rumors, or they were absolute rumors, or do you think there is no smoke without fire, and it made a lot of sense because this is I think a recurring narrative that Rohit Sharma is on hold, and we are considering Jaiswal. This might be his last ODI series. So all of that going around. Do you think he survives till the 2027 ODI World Cup? Another 12 months, maybe 14 months.
No, I mean, to be very honest, difficult to answer as of now. Like, even with that century, we know that what was the selector's comment and what were selectors or the coaches going towards. So, I think there was a comment like that also that even if he had scored any amount of runs in that series, that was supposed to be his last series. Fortunately, that hasn't happened till now. There is no news about it. I think they have silenced the media and silenced the critics as of now. And obviously, there is fan-run campaigns and social media things that these people definitely look into. Even they say that they don't take it, but we know that everyone looks into that, and some decisions get hampered by those things. So definitely, three figures have saved Rohit Sharma's career as of now. I don't think even 97 would have saved it, but just because he reached that three figures, I mean, that is like gives makes it added pressure on the selectors and coaches to retain him as of now at least. So, but again, as I already told you, it is not confirming anything. There are more series to coming up, and even if he performs like badly in those series, then again the same rumors will start coming up again, and same things would pop up again that Jaiswal should get a chance, and how long are we going to continue with him? Another thing which also comes up there is about fitness. So even though that guy is looking very fit right now, but I think he did face some cramps in that series as well, ODI series, if I remember correctly. Second ODI, third ODI, I don't remember. I think third ODI only, where he
Yeah,
scored 100.
third.
But he was
Yeah.
not fit. He was not running during last part of his innings, right? And he was just hitting the boundary, which is definitely we don't want player to see and player to do that in the World Cup, right? And if the World Cup is again with the new format, but the team is supposed to play, I think 10 or 11 matches on a trot within a month. So I mean, we have to be practical at some point and see whether he will be able to fit in all those matches, whether he'll stay fit and he'll be uh, play to his full potential, I should say, with the running in between the wickets, fielding, catching, everything would be possible for all those 11 matches, whether it's really possible. That we need to see. And if not, then we also need to check that whether we can take him as a player in the 15, squad of 15, and just play Jaiswal for initial few matches and then bring him in between and maybe again play Jaiswal whenever required. So, not a bad idea, but we have to look into these things and definitely should not rule out completely that he is not in our plans, and that is maybe a far-fetched thing, is what I think right now.
Interesting points there, Kevin. If you want to jump in here on Rohit Sharma, what's your view on this? Because his numbers are still good. I wouldn't say his numbers are bad, but this is not the old Rohit Sharma, as in the captain Rohit Sharma, who used to score probably 40 of 25 balls in the power play. This is in the previous version of Rohit Sharma, who takes time to get set. But if he gets set, he can score a big one, probably a double century as well, if he gets going in the end overs. But which Rohit Sharma would you prefer in the team? Is Jaiswal a better version at this point of time? How do you see all of this? Because there's a lot of confusion there, and there's also experience. Let's not put that aside. Rohit Sharma has a lot of experience. We are not playing in India. We are going to play in South Africa. Conditions might be difficult. Do we need a player like Rohit Sharma? Virat Kohli obviously will be there at number three, is what we are assuming.
It's tough. It's honestly very tough because I've been of the opinion that after the Champions Trophy we should have said, hey, Rohit Sharma, thank you so much for your services, but we don't see you. And he could have gone to play domestic, and he could have taken a back seat, but the selectors should have taken a call saying, hey, we're sorry, we thank you, we appreciate your services, but we would like to give Jaiswal a go forward. And they didn't do that because and this is what my biggest criticism with the Indian selectors and team management is, that they're using stats to back their decisions, which is not fair, because now they may have wanted to drop him, but because he got that 100 in that last ODI, they now have to persist with him. And my problem, what is with this management, is I do not know what the expectation is that they have from Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli for that matter. Now Virat Kohli is untouchable in the ODI setup, and they would want his experience. With Rohit Sharma, they feel that Jaiswal is a much better option. Whether is that is true, I'm a little confused, because I do not know whether a 40-year-old Rohit Sharma playing in South Africa against Rabada and Nokia, that opening spell will be Rabada, Nokia, and or Rabada and
Jansen.
Jansen. Will he try to play to survive the power play, or will he go aggressive? What is the instruction you're giving him? Because I'm looking at his partner. The partner is the captain of the Indian team, Gill. Will Gill be comfortable batting with a Rohit Sharma who's taking his own time, or does he need an aggressive Rohit Sharma? The same thing with Jaiswal. Is Gill cautious, and he doesn't want to play spinners in the power play, left arm spinners, and he's expecting that maybe a Rohit Sharma or a Jaiswal, a left hand Jaiswal, will make more sense. What is the captain and the non-striker wanting from his partner? That is something then the selectors need clarity on first, and then they take a call who is the better person to fill that role. Because you cannot have Gill, Rohit Sharma, and Virat Kohli all three play the same kind of style of cricket. That is where I feel we are missing out. In South Africa, it's going to be a big issue because there's going to be bounce. You're not going to get anything, and your strength in 23 World Cup is what we've been told is that Shreyas Iyer was the backbone. You know, and would he be as effective in South Africa? I'm not sure, because he will not be able to accelerate the way he was able to accelerate in India. This is a big difference there. The key, I think, would be KL Rahul. But how much pressure are you going to put on KL Rahul now? Because you're not having him bat at 5. You're expecting him to be a damage control at number 6. So it's a bit all over the place. Will Akshar at batting at 5 be good in South Africa again? And I'm not looking at the small teams. I look at just 3 or 4 big teams. I'm looking at Australia. I'm looking at South Africa, and I'm looking at New Zealand. I feel England also will be pretty good. They have a good fast bowling lineup, and they have some really good talent in Bethel and Brook, whom I feel, along with Root, can and can be a good contender this time. So this is something where I'm pretty confused. I do not know. I do not mind the selectors taking a call and saying, Rohit Sharma, despite you scoring that 100, that 100 didn't help us win the game. It seemed that you took your own time and you wanted to make a point, but we do not feel that that your style of play is helping the team. And we want someone who's much more younger, much more fresher, who's able to take more risks than you are taking. And we feel that Jaiswal is the move to go ahead, and that's fine. And you can back Jaiswal for the next 1.5 year, and it's good enough. Or you say we need experience at the top. We need someone to take pressure off Gill. We need someone who just goes bang bang, and you have the experience of playing all these bowlers. So we back you, irrespective of if you go and get 14 ducks, we still back you. That is something that the management has to take a call, and has to just shut down media and all the noise. They don't have a protest, like, I don't think cricket fans have protests to to have a selector or a captain sacked. But I feel this is the way you need to go ahead. So it's not about whom you want to pick. It's about whoever you pick, you back him, irrespective of what the outside noise is. And this is something that they have to do now, because my biggest fear is that if they're going to take both players together, Jaiswal is going to be inexperienced, Rohit Sharma will keep playing, and there could be a possibility, which I sense, that because of his age, he's going to get injured in the World Cup. And then you're going to expect that Jaiswal is going to come from outside, step in, and try to fill in those boots. And I do not know whether it all depends on. My issue is now with Jaiswal is that Jaiswal doesn't seem as confident as he was in 23, and even for the matter in 24. He seems a bit, he's already at Rajasthan Royals. He's now the number two opener. He's not even the number one opener. Suddenly his stocks have fallen down. I think he had a good test tour in England, but I think after that, he's not getting the stardom that he wanted. So, he's not, it doesn't, he has 2 centuries, but they're both, I think, in subcontinent conditions, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, one against South Africa, one against
So
Afghanistan. Yeah.
so he's not banging on the door, as so it's a bit, it's not a good position to be. But you need, at this point of time, you need someone like a Dhoni, who took the he just he spoke to the selectors quietly, had took a decision, and he produced the results. So that's why those decisions never came back to haunt him till the time he was playing. Once he quit, then after that, you're all disgruntled ex senior players talk about it. But you need someone like that at this point of time. I do not know who's that person. I was expecting Gambhir to be that, but it seems like Gambhir is not. He is not doing the right thing that is needed for this team to proceed. So this is where I feel that they have to take clarity on Kishan. They're getting in Kishan. I'm not sure whether this it's serving the purpose that they're getting him for, because he's also going to add that pressure where they're going to consider him as a backup to the opener, as well as a backup to KL Rahul. And I think we're going back to the 2023 uncertainty, which I'm not a confident person in, because suddenly you had Samson, then you brought in Jurel. There was Pant in between for Champions Trophy, and now suddenly you're going back to Kishan because he did well for Jharkhand. So it's not a good structure, but they have to take a call. You have to have, either you have a 17-member, 18-member squad, pick all the players in the squad and then take them around and then take a call, or you stick to a 15 and decide saying, hey, this is what the template that we would like to follow. Because I'm looking at one guy whom I feel they're backing is Krishna as a bowler. I'm noticing that he's getting backed in T20s and ODIs. He's going for runs. Let's not uh, you know overlook that factor. But you're backing him, because the more he gets hit, the more experience he gets, he will deliver under pressure. And they're sensing that they need that tall, hit the deck kind of bowler who can bowl with the old ball. So it's not a you can say a bad strategy, as long as they know what they are backing him for, which is good. So let's see how it goes. But the opener thing, we lost, and I wouldn't blame it on the senior players, but I feel that the management has to take a tough call, and they should take it now.
Yeah. 3, 4 people have joined us on the stream. So if you have any questions regarding what we are discussing, do put that in the chat and we'll definitely take them up as well. Nikhil, moving on from the batting to the bowling, there's also a lot about the batting which we could have discussed, but let's move to the bowling as well briefly. Jasprit Bumrah seems the only certainty. He didn't play the last ODI, if you remember correctly, against England. And we know the result. We gave away 387 or something, 387 to be precise. What are India's fast bowling stocks? As Kevin briefly mentioned, Prasidh Krishna, we are backing him. Gurnur Brar came out of nowhere, you could say, but yeah, he has played some India A stuff, and the selectors really back him. We saw Prince Yadav playing ODIs as well, and Arshdeep Singh played that last ODI. What about Mohammad Siraj? Do you think he's in the plans and he was rested, or he has been dropped? Because there's no clarity around Mohammad Siraj. After the Champions Trophy, I haven't seen him play. Harshit Rana will obviously be around because of his skills with the bat. But are these bowlers really the ones you see going into the 2027 ODI World Cup? And does that make India's fast bowling strong?
So I saw the number of ODIs we maybe have left before the World Cup starts until January, which is the fixtures we have. There's around 4 series with like maybe 15 ODIs in the set. Let's give benefit of doubt. There's going to be 25 ODIs until the World Cup, including the warm games. I feel we know who the limited amount of fast bowlers we're looking at, and I'll add Hardik, Nitish, Dubey as 2 out of 3 options for the World Cup because we have a limited squad of 15. In
Fair.
this, we have a sure shot of what the pool is. I feel BCCI knows this, the management knows this. One thing which has always been a problem compared to the Dhoni era was that the captain was the one who spoke to the selectors. This is maybe not a captain era. This is the Gambhir coach era who's going and conversing. So we need clarity on that. But we know who's the pool for sure. It's going to be Bumrah. Siraj has been given clear communication that he is in the mix. He's been interested. So he is all like we don't know as fans in the media for sure, like it's 70%, but according to Siraj and I believe for Gambhir, he's the sure shot other opening bowler in the World Cup, especially because the World Cup and it's outside of India. Who are your other options? What we have for now is Prasid, Gurnur Brar, and Arshdeep Singh. Prince Yadav is your tertiary option if somebody gets injured, because the big question is in your best 15 or your best 11, Bumrah and Hardik play, but are they fit? Bumrah has played one ODA or maybe 2 ODAs after coming from a big break and again is ruled out. It's very concerning. Your best player of for this maybe decade. It was a batter earlier. It was maybe bowling with respect to you would say Jadeja the best all-rounder. Like this, it's gonna be Bumrah or nothing when it comes to World Cup, especially for India. Is he fit? So who's your backup? Who's your what do you say, all format and all phase bowler in ODI cricket who's able to give that? I feel the only good option way they have other than Siraj is having to go with Harshit Rana because of at least he's the only one who's been playing consistently for India at this point. He's very talented with the new ball. He's able to nick a left-hander with his away swinger every single time almost. He's been extremely
Yeah.
economical with 4 overs where he bowls within the 10-hour power play, but he does hasn't been given enough opportunity and he doesn't have enough options other than just the off-cutter slow ball in the middle overs. Well, that's where, as been said, India really believes and probably rightfully so based on the experiences back in Prasidh Krishna as his middle overs bowler as a pacer, apart from Hardik Pandya, which is so we have a like 5 fast bowler pool extremely set. It's gonna be Bumrah, Siraj, Ashdeep as the new ball bowler, Harshit, Prasid
Yes.
and Gurnur. This is set. They're not even gonna go past it to Prince Yadav or like maybe find some newer talent from domestic or IPL. The problem, or rather, let's start with the question is how do they balance them and keep them fit across maybe 6 bilateral series until then, so that this is the 6 which is set, and out of which 4 of them go to the World Cup where 3 play and there's 1 backup.
Correct.
That question needs to be answered purely on basis of time. We whatever we know as these are phenomenal players like Siraj, for example. We all remember that Asia Cup final where we tried to watch a game, but before we could go, the entire game was done into us. Like the talent is a mass. Like we know how good Arshdeep can be with the new ball going in and out and bowling in the 10th, but are they going to deliver? And sadly, are they going to be fit with like maybe 14, 15 months to go for the World Cup? That is the question which needs to be answered. That purely comes to the captain, coach, and the supporting staff and how well they can rotate them. Give them enough opportunity. I would say everyone, maybe barring Bumrah, let's say he's rested, barring Bumrah and Siraj should be back for the next ODI series. In this 5 fast bowlers we have Siraj, Prasid, Brar, Ashdeep, and Harshit. All of them should play almost an equal number of games. Give them clear role clarity. Do not give Prateek the new ball if he's consistently your third fast bowler after the ball, because your spin resources, especially when it comes to South Africa, is good enough. Like you have Kuldeep, God knows when he'll play, but you have Akshay Patel, who's irrespective of the poor performance for India, his poor performance in the IPL, he's always been giving under 7 in T20Is and under 6 in ODIs. Like his bowling has never gone apart. He's almost edged out Jadeja and Sandhu. So his spin resources are pretty good. Like you have Kuldeep, you have Akshar, backup as Jadeja, or if Varun is fit enough to play like how we play in the Champions Trophy, he's there. So it's fine. Rotate your bowlers, give them clear roles. Like this is what you're gonna do. If you're really asking for finding a backup in the middle overs, don't bowl Harshit in the new ball. He's very good in the new ball. Like you consistently give him after the ball is slightly old, especially in this new era where we have a new ball at each end. Even bowling in the 12th over means there's gonna be a decent amount of spin, especially if you go to like Wanderers, for example, where wind plays such a big factor. You need swing bowlers more than seam bowlers. Who's that swing bowler you have? These are things which the support staff needs to consider. One big limitation, I believe, is India has too many good amount of players. You can only pick the best 15. And apart from your 11, you need, it's overseas, so you need a backup keeper. You need a backup batter. You need a backup spinner, and you need a backup pacer. You're limited to go with these. So if Bumrah, Siraj, and one of Harshit and Prasid,
Yeah.
three fast bowlers, you need a fourth one who's a new ball backup as well as a middle overs backup. So who is that? Is Gurnur good enough to bowl in the middle overs? We don't know it because he's just start playing. So the next calendar year is extremely crucial in that sense. You need to rotate them. You need to ensure that they are fit enough, happy enough, and healthy enough to consistently be available to play India. Tell them, play for India. Tell them like nothing else matters. Your domestic franchise leagues happening across the year doesn't matter. You're gonna play anywhere else. Like manage their workload in Ranji Trophy. If they're gonna be preparing for the 10 over ODI World Cup, they should be bowling 10 over spells, not 4 over T20 spells or 20 over first class spells. The next 12 months is important, especially for a fast bowler in that sense.
So I think Nikhil has done Ajit Agarkar's job easy. He has picked those 6 bowlers. Ajit Agarkar, if you are listening, write it down. It's Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj, Prasidh Krishna, Harshit Rana, Gurnur Brar, and who did I miss?
Ashdeep as the only soul.
Hardeep Singh, the left arm pacer. Nikhil, just to put you in Ajit Agarkar's shoes once again, a yes and no answer. Is Rohit Sharma part of your 2027 ODI World Cup plan?
At this moment, if I could put a pros and cons list, there's more things against Rohit than for. One crucial factor is if you do have to look at a backup opener, this is the only time you can start. There's literally a year to go, and that's actually not enough games. Second thing is again the top 6 having zero left-handed batters. Third thing, which is like what kind of opener do you need alongside Gill, and it's number 3 at Kohli. Like you need someone to take on pace, which Rohit himself did phenomenally when. That's the reason why he's there. And one thing I also checked is it's not like Rohit Sharma has blazoned through like how he has in England. Like in South Africa, he doesn't have like phenomenal numbers to make a strong case for him as well. That's also gonna be kind of against Rohit Sharma if you're already putting a negative lens on him. So it's very hard. At this moment, if you ask what a selector should do is he should be in the squad. I feel like you can't. This is a multinational tournament where you either go with experienced pros to back yourself or you go with new talent and hope your combination works better. I feel like you need a balance for that. And if considering the stocks you have in the middle order who are set at this point, they're sealed, and there's someone like Gaikwad whose last ODI game was a century in the backseat. So you have a strong middle order with Iyer, KL, Hardik, a fit Hardik playing at number 7 or something, number 6 at least. So considering that, I feel like you should have the backing to play Jaiswal and Rohit again and again. Maybe Gill can bat at 3 as how he gave an opportunity with Jaiswal over the next year. And then if absolutely Rohit is not fit enough to play, you should take him. But if he is fit, I feel he should be on that flight to go to Wanderers, play in Johannesburg. He's your, with barring Shikhar Dhawan, he's your Mr. ICC. Like ODI World Cups, you think of Rohit Sharma, his 4 centuries in England. That's what you think of. You need that big match player. So I feel Rohit can deliver that, but he should not be the only player. He has enough experience. He doesn't need to always play the bilateral series. Play Jaiswal. There's only 1 year left. You should give him an opportunity. If it doesn't work, you need to find a third opener. So that's also we're assuming Jaiswal is gonna fit that role like smoothly. Not really. He hasn't played enough ODI cricket for India to even know that. So that's a big question mark as well. Considering you don't have a backup opener who is breaking through the doors, I feel Rohit should be on that team.
So yeah, Nikhil has helped Ajit Agarkar once again there. Book his flight is what Nikhil has mentioned. Shall we
Two
moving
quick
on?
questions. I had two quick
Sorry.
questions for Nikhil. Nikhil, do you see Ishan Kishan coming up as the first choice opener instead of
First choice
Jaiswal?
opener. Oof.
So,
I
so
don't think he has to open. Is he talented enough? Yes, but when you're considering a 15 squad member where you need a backup keeper, Ishan should be someone who bats from 3 to 6 rather than opening. It's a very different role compared to what you're telling him. Like that's a big problem India has, right? They've been rotating with Jurel Punt as a middle order backup for KL, but it's not like the T20 again. They made a decision at the T20 setup where they dropped Shreyas Iyer because we need a backup opener wicket keeper. That's why they went back Sanjay Samson and Ishan Kishan. If KL is unavailable and then you're going as an opening wicketkeeper, that messes up your balance so much because like you don't have a number 5 pure bat or an all-rounder who can do the job which KL does very well for India. So you need a middle order wicketkeeper. If I feel Kishan kind of fits that bill at this point, if you need only one wicketkeeper backup compared to the other peers he has there. But if you're gonna tell him, oh, be ready to bat even in the power play or even outside the power play, even at the 40th over, that's nobody, not even Sachin Tendulkar can do that in a single season. To be really honest, so it's hard. I feel like Kishan should not be asked to play as an opener. She should be told, okay, practice for middle order, practice maybe for number 4 to number 6.
got you. Because why I asked you is, do we see Kishan going to South Africa? Because he struggles against pace and bounce, and I'm assuming that there will not be a lot of spinners being, teams will have just one spinning option and a part timer. So
Yeah, I'm.
anytime I see him to yeah, if I see Kishan, at the crease, I'm gonna have Archer, Cummins,
That's
or
true.
Will O'Rourke from New Zealand, Ferguson, go hard at him. So do we see
Yeah,
him like as does it make sense to take him? Because I see where Kishan would be picked, as a backup opener as well as a backup keeper, and I'm not sure whether he's the right person, because I would go back to Mr. Sampson, who scored his last century. Sorry, he scored his first century in his last ODI, so, in South Africa. So that was where I was coming from. But you don't have to answer this. I get your the
that's a
sentiment.
very fair point. Especially, I'm imagining South Africa bowling 40 overs of pace and just bouncers at Ishan Kishan. A big question mark has been his short ball game, but one if we do notice his analytics aspect, it's not that he's playing it technically poor. He's going to hit a six as he's expecting the pitch to be like Hyderabad.
Yeah,
Like it makes zero sense. You can't translate that to UK or like even South Africa later. So considering that, it's a big concern. Like who is it? But who is your backup who is known to play a short ball who's been playing for ODI cricket? Like it seems India doesn't have a better answer. Samson is known to do well and he has the stats in South Africa to back it. But he is nowhere near the ODI setup. I feel like even
got
if
you.
you're going for someone beyond Kishan, maybe it's Rishabh Pant at this point. And I feel like Gambhir likes that left right combination and going with familiar faces in that sense in the middle order, someone who he has coached slash played with. And I feel like Kishan fits the bill of what the management and the selectors think there compared to Samson. I would love to see Samson play, but does he instantly solve that? Again, he's a right handed batter who either scores a century or gets out in single digits. Do
I got
you
it.
need
Yeah,
that from number 6? That's again, it's if it was a very simple replacement who's better, we should go for it. Like how maybe Samson should open in T20. Simple enough answer there. But this
Yeah.
is a big question which I feel like nobody has the right fit. That's how good KL Rahul is. I guess he can bat anywhere from 4 to 8 at this point and do really well against the short ball medium. So I guess we should pray KL Rahul doesn't get injured.
Yeah, because I was proposing it 2 years ago, saying, hey, once Rohit Sharma decides to move on, we might look at KL Rahul being pushed to open in South Africa just because you want someone experienced at the top. You can't have Shubman Gill and Jaiswal open because I don't think has Shubman Gill played in South Africa. I
Not
just
that I
cannot
know,
remember.
because even the series was
Yeah,
there. Sai Sudarshan who opened and
I
scored
Sudarshan
two
opened. Yeah,
50s.
yeah.
Exactly.
So
So that was where I was coming from. And also, we're talking about bowlers. I would like to just understand what do you think is the formula, that India should go with? We always start with what's our top six. Why don't we start with, who are our top
start with the
five
bowlers,
bowlers?
right? Yeah.
Exactly.
I'll keep
So
it short. Yeah.
yeah,
If I could say the template should go with two new ball bowlers, one good one change bowler in the power play, and one middle overs bowler, where your new ball bowlers are equipped enough to bowl 3 overs in the death, those 6 overs. Because you're gonna go with two spinners and four pacers, where it's three pacers and one pacer all rounder. If you don't have a pacer all rounder, you're not even gonna get to the top four in South Africa, because you need 35 overs of pace whilst batting till 8. If not Hardik Pandya, it's almost like forget about being top four, or pray Nitish Kumar is fit and does the job well, and can he bowl 6+ overs? It's a big question mark. Considering that, that's the template you should go with for conditions like South Africa, West Indies, and New Zealand, where you need a good one change bowler. If your opening bowler, like assume Bumrah and Siraj, if they need a break or they get hit, you need another new ball, like power play bowlable bowler who can also continue to bowl outside the power play with his cutters, bouncers, and yorkers. So, and then you need a specialist 20 to 40 over pacer there, which I feel Hardik Pandya is really good at. Like, you don't particularly need to go to Prasidh Krishna there, because Hardik Pandya is known to bowl those 135, 140 short balls and into the wicket ones. So if you go with that, Siraj and Bumrah are definitely good enough to bowl in the depth. So your new ball bowlers can come back there again.
got you. Why I asked you this question is because I was like, do we need two spinners in South Africa? Because I was looking at who's the team to beat in South Africa, and I feel South Africa is the team to beat. So you
Agree.
have their combination is going to be Rabadi Janssen 1-2. You'll have 3 Maharaj, 4 you would have Lungi Nigri, and 5 you might have Nokia, or you might go with they have one more, or maybe a Cobbin Bosch. It depends on how they want to go with the
Mostly Robin
fifth.
Bush, yeah.
So I'm looking at who is India considering for? Do we need a bowler who could be change of pace? You already have Hardik Pandya, but do you need another bowler in the middle overs who just mixes it up, or you want someone who goes bouncer? Because I don't see that variation from Krishna, and I don't see any bowler for some reason, like a Mohit Sharma type bowler whom India
Yeah.
would like to
Change it
who
up.
would like to give an opportunity to.
Yeah, that's a big question, because Prasid comes in and fits the bill in the absence of Hardik. If you have Hardik to bowl the middle overs, Prasid should. I mean, you don't need him to play because that ones or two spinners are going to be good enough. I feel like, to answer your question, South Africa comes with these 4 to 5 fast bowling, but like the assumption is that are they going to give favorable conditions for their pacers and then not giving a spinner friendly place? And second thing is, South Africa also struggles against spin, so India
Yeah.
playing those good spinners might work in their favor. In my opinion, if you're playing one very good spinner and going with 4 fast bowlers, it should be Kuldeep Yadav and not Akshar Patel.
Yeah.
Go with Kuldeep. Think what Kohli would do. It's the worst line which we are saying right now because everyone bashed him as a captain. Then go with 4 fast bowlers. Play one good spinner. Go for 20 wickets in Test matches. Go for 10 wickets in ODIs. Like, attack them. I don't think they're gonna do that. But do we need two spinners in a 50 over? Yeah, but I wish one of our top 6 was that second spinner who could bowl those 5 to 6 overs. Is Akshar Patel a top 6 batter who could do that? No. But let's say he's an all-rounder who could bat at least 7, who could bowl those 6 overs of spin. I feel like if he bats well enough, he comes in that quota. If not, instantly you're gonna move on from Akshar and hope Jadeja fits that bill. Like, we need 1.5 spinners and 3.5 pacers to give that 50 overs.
Yeah. I think Aksar with his batting will definitely be in the 11, and then Kuldeep, as you said, should be the second spinner. Or if you want to pick just one spinner, it has to be Kuldeep. It makes
Yeah,
more sense
absolutely.
because he is the wicket taker compared to Aksar. Shabby, let's move on to the future as well. There is a big tour coming up. Not big in terms of time because just 7 days away, and it's not big in terms of time because it's just two tests, not anything apart from that. But there's a joke going around. It's the final frontier for Gautam Gambhir. We have lost in India, we have lost in Australia. We managed to draw 2-2 in England, which was the biggest achievement of this test team under Gautam Gambhir. Two whitewashes in India. Hardly won any test matches in subcontinent conditions. We won those two against West Indies, but who remembers that is what is the question. What's your take for Gautam Gambhir? Will you resign once we lose 0-2 against Sri Lanka?
I mean, he should resign, and that's the only record he's yet to break. That the 10-year streak or 12-year streak, whatever we had with the other countries, which have been broken right now, thanks to Gautam Gambhir. Now he is eyeing that winning streak in the Sri Lanka, where
With
we
Sri
haven't
Lanka,
lost.
it's an 18-year streak, I think. We last lost in 2008. After that, we haven't lost to
Correct,
Sri Lanka, is what I remember. Lost a series to Sri Lanka. I haven't lost a series to Sri Lanka, if I'm correct. But yeah, we can check
correct,
on this.
correct. That's what I saw as well. That we haven't
Yeah.
lost any series in Sri Lanka in very long years. So Gautam Gambhir would be, what should I say? I mean, he won't be looking to break that, but he's all set to break that if I say so. And I mean, we never know. Like, what's the quality of Sri Lanka team these days? Not very much following it. I know they are good taste team. There are very good batters like Kusal Mendes and all those people. And the in terms of bowling, I think Prabhat Jayasuriya is a really good spinner that they have, apart from the fast bowlers. So that's the only players I know currently from the test team, but definitely home conditions, we cannot basically underrate them. They will definitely come hard at us, and also looking at the recent history in the subcontinent conditions, they know what exactly to put to us, how to trap us basically, and then it's all about the batting. I would say more than bowling. I think the batting would be more important at how it performs. Can we consistently score 300 and 400 runs in each of the innings that we play? That will maybe define the overall fate of the series. Secondly, in terms of experience, I think this Sri Lanka team won't be very much like very experienced people they have currently, but unfortunately, even our test team is no longer experienced. I mean, apart from Jadeja, I don't see any name which is like very much experienced in the test squad. So in that terms, I think we are very much balanced side. Both the teams are in the similar fit, I think, in terms of experience. So that is another factor. So again, it comes up to like who performs better on the conditions in the sessions, and then that will decide the fate of the series, I think.
Interesting points there. Yeah, I think the two batters there for Sri Lanka, Mendes, obviously you mentioned. They have Pathum Nisanka if he's fit, and one of my favorites is Dinesh Chandimal. He's such an underrated batter. Still averages above 40 if I'm not wrong. And then Dhananjay De Silva, I think Nikhil mentioned about it on the private chat that he bowls off spin as well. Again, he doesn't look like a technically good batter, but he's extremely effective. Has scored runs all around the world. But yeah, Nikhil, I think it's a straightforward 11 if everybody is fit. Assuming Sai Sudarshan is ruled out because that's what we are hearing.
Yeah, he's rolled out.
We are assuming KL Rahul Jaiswal to open. DDP will come in at 3, who scored a century today in the warm up game. Gill will take the number 4 spot. You have Pant at 5, Jurel at 6, Jadeja at 7, Kuldeep at 8, Sutar, I think, will play at 9, and then the two fast bowlers in Siraj and Krishna. Would you change anything in this 11, or do you think this is the right 11 which I have picked? And what do you see in this series? Do India have a chance to make it 1-1, 2-0 possibly, or it's going to go how all series have gone for Gautam Gambhir and his test team?
I actually predict 1-1. I don't think a draw would happen in Sri Lanka because mostly how the last 2 years have been, whenever even like I think Australia came, Bangladesh played. So it's been like these mammoth first inning totals, like
Correct.
450 totals,
Correct.
and then the
Teams
danger
fold
of
up
being up and
in.
draw, and then you
Yeah.
bowl them out. So the
Yeah.
combination is correct. I would go with the three spinner, two pacer attack. Like you don't need a third pacer at Sri Lanka. And in fact, in the second innings, it's very much so like how you bowl a spinner in India with a new ball. The second innings, it's gonna be a spinner with a new ball. So Manav Sudhar should be given an extended role. He's done really well, and the guy he has, the spin he has, very good. Fingers crossed, hopefully Kuldeep plays. And Jadeja is like I think the one video which cricket was like, is he the best after Callis? Like
Yeah.
Jadeja is a straight shot, and you're really dependent on him at the absence of Ashwin. And irrespective of whether Washi has played for a while, so your lead spinner is Jadeja. He should lead the attack, and yeah, I think 11 seems fair enough. Like batting isn't a concern. Only thing maybe is that are you playing Jurel as a pure batter at number six, or are you again playing an all rounder? Gautam Gambhir is going to play an all rounder. So I mean, we know this. The
But
only
who
concern
is
is
that
that
all rounder? Who is that all rounder who can play at six? I don't think
at
there is.
this point, it has to be Saraj Jain. I mean, everyone goes up. Jadeja's like good enough to play at six. He scored a
Play
50 at
at
number
six. Okay,
four
fair.
today. So
Yeah.
if you play, you maybe go with four spinners in that sense instead of a third fast bowler, which they were dabbling by playing Nitish Kumar there. But you don't. A is absent now, and B you'd rather go with that as an option. I believe in 2017 when India went, they had Hardik Pandya still playing test matches. He was the third pacer. But who
Yeah.
rarely bowled again? Like you
Yeah. I think
had
in one of the tests he was used as that off cutter guy in between when Sri Lanka had a mammoth partnership. But apart from that, he hardly bowled. He scored a century. He scored a
Yeah,
century.
so you need a good number six batter. Washington's injured, and that's the reason we have Sarang Jain coming in.
Yeah.
Aksar and Jadeja. I mean, if you got to
I
pick
think they
only
have
one,
moved on from Aksar now in Test cricket.
which is probably the right thing to do
Yeah.
because until Jadeja is fit, he's gonna be playing. And Aksar, what problem does he solve is always a question to ask in Test. He's a very good white ball cricketer. Let him have that distribution, and that gives an opportunity for you to play Kuldeep, and especially in conditions like Sri Lanka, he should play. Sri Lanka is a country which has produced legends like Rangana and Muralitharan. Like the Australia Sri Lanka trophy is to call Warne Muralitharan. So back your spinners, play Kuldeep, Jadeja, and starting with Mala Sadar. The one experiment which you could do, which isn't the worst thing to do, maybe would be dropping Jurel to play a spinner all rounder because you can believe that Jadeja is a good number six. But are you back? I mean, Sudhar is good enough to bat at nine. He's scoring very good. He's always been an all rounder. So you could
Yeah.
try that experiment because Sri Lanka, but yeah, the sensible thing to do is playing Jural at six and going with three spinners and two fast bowlers. Choice of two fast bowlers, I guess the first match you should go with your known
Siraj
resources
and
instead of
Krishna. Yeah.
instantly playing Akib Nabi there. Like he came as a reserve player and then a backup because Bumrah's injured. So start slow, get a series lead, and then you can chop and change.
Yeah, I think if Sundar was available, Gambhir would have definitely played Jadeja at six, and then the four spinners thing which you're saying. Saran Jain, because I think he didn't bowl well in that warm up game. I'm assuming he might not make the 11 for the first game at least. We'll see how it goes. Kevin, I see you have a lot of you have a soft spot for Gambhir, is what it seems from the private chat, is what I'm reading. You say that Kohli and Shastri and Rohit and Dravid messed up with this test team, which has caused issues with Gambhir. Could you please elaborate on that, and what are your exact thoughts on that? Because right now it seems that Gambhir has played a huge part in whatever has happened with this test team.
I don't feel that he's getting unnecessary hate. Like with respect to the T20 and ODI setup, I'm pretty sure that you know we had much more settled teams. The Test team was not that settled because if you see the success that Kohli and Shastri reaped off, a lot of that actually came because of the players that Dhoni and Duncan Fletcher backed. You see all the guys. You see Ishan Sharma. You see Shami. You see Umesh Yadav. They all came in around 2011-13, and they played consistently around that time till the time Dhoni, hung his boots in 2013-14. So you see those fast bowlers, you see Ashwin, Jadeja, they played consistently throughout that tenure. So when Virat Kohli entered the frame, he got a pretty young team, pretty settled. The only he didn't even have to, I think, figure out openers also, because Murli Vijay and Dhawan partnership was started in 2013, and they did really well on that overseas tour. And then the first decision that they took was to drop, like Kohli and Shastri took, was to drop Dhawan and promote KL Rahul. You know, and you could give them credit for Rishabh Pant, because he was brought in during that tenure. But the fast
Even
bowlers, if
even Bumrah, even Bumrah, I think 2018 Bumrah South Africa series.
South Africa series.
yes. So Bumrah comes in, Siraj comes in, and Pant. These are the three players you could say that what came through in Virat Kohli's tenure. But if you see the remaining eight players were already there from Dhoni's tenure. And then you had Rohit Sharma, who took over Virat Kohli's team, and then he tried to bring in a Mukesh Kumar. He tried to bring in a Padikkal, a Patidar, a Sarfraz Khan, a Jaiswal. You
Akashdeep,
know,
player which we
Akash was
forgotten.
there pretty.
Oh, where is that guy? Is he still injured?
I mean, you don't need him for Sri Lanka, so I guess it's fine.
Yeah.
So you see where I'm going, right? So now with Gambhir coming in, he pushes out Ashwin to back Sundar, and Jadeja is getting pushed out, I think, for Manav Sutar slash Akshar Patel in all formats. So now Gambhir is trying to build up a team, but if you see the issue that is has happened with him, he's dealing with a captain who has never captained. So he has to deal with a new captain and a new structure, and I think it's not helping his case, because he's trying to promote an all-rounder culture, which is backfiring.
Yeah,
And I
that's
look at
what
this
is a
team.
huge issue. That's what is a huge issue, I think, with Gambhir.
Exactly, and you don't have. I'm not seeing, like, back in the day, I would read a lot of papers, so I would know the bowlers who are doing well in India A, and then who would get a chance into the Indian team. Now I'm not seeing that kind of pattern, because the first player, in my opinion, who should have made the Test team in this last 1.5 year should have been Akib Nabi, because he has done well in first class. He should be on all the India A tours. He should have been on the first player on the Test. What you can say side, the moment Bumrah and Siraj were not going to be considered, or you know, he has to be that. I don't remember the last time I knew of, like an Indian team where they decided that this player has done well in first class or list A, and he is going to start the first game. I don't, you see it in all other you can see teams where they decide that, okay, a senior player is rested or is injured or is being dropped, and they want to try a new guy. I don't see that coming in, so that's where
Famously
I'm.
known for not doing that.
so so
Countless
it's
players, yeah, like
exactly. So it's not. You can say, I do not know whether it's Gambhir who's the one who's making these selection calls, or the selector's taking and he picks the squad. And don't get me wrong, he's also made he keeps making his own blunders, which and does which is not adding to it. But I feel that this is the first time I'm looking at a test team which is not settled in. You know, they're trying. I feel Padikal should have been given a longer run at number three, because he's doing well in all formats.
Agreed. Agreed.
But for some reason they brought in Sai Sudarshan. I think the backing Sai Sudarshan. I do not know. I think maybe it's a GT bias. I don't know. I do not know how these calls are taken. But yeah, you see, there's no, what you can say is, there is no pattern. You had Sarfaraz Khan come in, and he replaced KL Rahul, got a 150, and then you realize, oh, he's not the guy who can play overseas test. But how can
Yeah,
you take a
just to
call without
confirm,
giving?
not 150, 150. By 150 means actual 150 runs.
So yeah, so this is where, I'm like, I didn't see any bowlers come in during Dravids, and because I was always of the opinion that Mr. Kohli has to start the transition. He quit. Then you had Rohit Sharma come in, but he also benefited a lot from, you can say, the domestic games that we were playing. So we had a longer home season, not a lot of domestic game. We had a longer home season, and now it was unfortunate that in Australia we got exposed badly, where we brought in Harshit Rana out of nowhere, and we brought in Nitish Kumar Reddy into the test team out of nowhere, and Siraj and Bumrah were exhausted. And for some reason, I do not know. And I was going to ask this question later, saying, do we think we need to go back to Shami at some point of time? Does it make sense? Just like how we went to Dravid in ODIs in 2011, does it make sense to bring in Shami at least a 1 to 2 test series or an ODI series, just to make the other guys confident? Because this team is lacking confidence. The players do not, they're insecure, and I don't see anybody coming in, like, with that fighting spirit. saying, "Hey, I'm going to take on the opposition."
Yeah, interesting points there in terms of Gautam Gambhir, and Kevin is backing Gautam Gambhir. Having said that, he did mention his blunders with all rounders and some other things as well with the number three spot, especially the Sarfaraz Khan thing. I think they are just being unfair on him. He should have made the squad a while back. He should make the 11 as well. Just quick predictions on this before we move on to a fun topic as well. But Nikhil, predictions, you said 1-1.
Yeah, I back 1-1. I mean, I believe that there won't be draws in the series. It's gonna
Yeah.
be resultant. India's batting and spin strengths, if they play the main spinners, is good enough to take on Sri Lanka's current batting stocks. So I believe we'll win one game, but it's possible that again we're starting in a new condition. We haven't played in a home test series. Rather, we haven't done well in a home test series in a while as well. So maybe starting slow and then getting back that one.
I will also go with 1-1. Shabby, your predictions.
I want to make a bold prediction. I think India will win 2-0. We
That
have
is
Siraj.
a bold prediction. Under Gautam Gambhir, that is a bold prediction.
Yeah, yeah.
Kevin, your prediction?
2-0. Even I feel India is going to win.
India is going to win 2-0. That will definitely keep Gautam Gambhir his job till the end of the 2027 ODI.
Just to check, just so what is the lineup we're looking at? We're looking at Gill opening with Jaiswal 1 and 2. You
I
have
think
number
Oh
three
wait,
is
no.
no,
Gill's
this is
at
not the
four.
ODI. This is not ODI. It's KL Rahul opening with Jaiswal.
yeah, sorry, KL Rahul with KL Rahul with it's funny, I was telling someone that KL Rahul is so unlucky.
Yeah,
In Test he gets the tough the tough spot to bat. He has to open, and in
right,
ODIs
right,
he's
right.
batting in the middle order,
Team
and
man.
like the and with Shubman Gill he opens in in ODIs. He's doing what I think is Mr. Sachin, his mentor. As of now, his mentor has taught him, But yeah, so it's KL Rahul and Jaiswal, and then you have three
Correct.
is I think Sudarshan is who's
Sai
that?
Nah,
Sudarshan
Padikkar is gonna go purely because Sai Sudarshan's
and
injured.
Rohit. So yeah, DDP will bat at 3.
Okay, so three you have a guy who seems in form, Padikkal. You have four KL. You have five Pant, and number six are we playing Jurel? Who we're playing?
Jurel is what
Options
we are.
are Jurel, I mean, or Jadeja up there.
Yeah. Okay, but are we going with a batter or are we going with two all rounders? What's it looking like?
Yeah, that's the thing. So Shubham believes that we'll go with Jurel in the absence of
Yeah.
Washington Sundar, but based on how we have gone in a playing combination in Indian subcontinent, it's been a spinner all rounder at 6, 7, and 8.
Okay, got you.
It used to
Yeah.
be Washington, Jadeja, and then it used to be Nitish Kumar as a fast bowling all rounder. But I guess it
At
will.
some point, we also played Aksar. I think three all-rounders. Also,
Yeah,
we
but
played
then
Aksar.
when Aksa was
That
there, it
was
was
against
three
South
spinner all
Africa. Yes.
rounders.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was looking at it. Do we have the problem is the problem with the Indian team is that Rishabh Pant is too good a batsman to bat at six. So he bats it at number five, giving us that extra flexibility to skip on a batter at number six.
Now it
And
creates a
that's where
problem, isn't it? You're messing up your good
exactly,
combination.
exactly that's where I was going. Like, hey, if there is and Jurel, I don't know when was the last time he had a good game.
That's
Any good
actually
game
a
you want
good
to say?
point. The good game he had was against West Indies. South Africa, 2 matches, he didn't score runs. Afghanistan as well, he didn't score runs. So yeah, three
Okay.
tests in a row he hasn't scored. But I guess if Sundar was available, it would have been Jadeja 6, Sundar 7, and Kuldeep 8 and Manav Sutar 9, four spinners. But I think because Sundar isn't available, they will go Jurel 6, Jadeja 7, Kuldeep 8, and Manav Sutar 9.
I
Yeah,
believe Sudhar is a good enough number 7, to be really honest. Like
Who
if you're
Sundar, right?
backing him, I believe Manav Sudhar is a good enough number 7. I think he played number 7 today and scored 41 of
Yeah,
90.
yeah. Today also he has good score.
And
Sitar, yeah.
he's always, ever since his under 19 days, he's been batting at number 6 to 8. So I feel he's a good enough number 7, and Jadeja is definitely a good enough number 6.
Jadeja, I have no doubts about his batting. He can bat he can
So
bat
if you
at
go
number
Jadeja
4 and
6,
63 as well.
yeah, if you go Jadeja 6, Sudhar 7,
Kuldeep 8.
for now I'll say Saranjane 8,
Saransh 8.
Kuldeep 9, and then you have two fast bowlers. That gives you the flexibility to ease in someone like Saransh in, like, yes, he is a backup. You don't need to prioritize. You can prioritize your main batting, main 11, whatever. But you can go with the fourth spinner, but definitely not banter. You have Kuldeep, Jadeja, and Sudhar as your three spinners. You can just play Jurel. Like, either would work based on what you want to do there. Like, you have the flexibility. So I guess you could say Jurel slash Saransh in a sense.
Yeah,
Then,
yeah,
yeah, your two fast bowlers gotta be Siraj.
and Prasid.
Believe might be Gurnur Brar because you don't you he kind of edges in a new ball bowler sense than Prasid at this point, right? Like, you're not going for, you don't need a hit the deck fast bowler who's going with extra pace here. Like, it's gonna be the first hour of the session has always been kind of skiddy and overcast in Sri Lanka. You need someone who can steam the ball off the wicket rather than, you know, bounce someone out. So maybe Brar edges him in.
Brar hasn't played
Yeah,
a
and
test so far.
another thing I was just checking is Gurnur is batting today and he has scored 36 of just
36
18
of
balls
Four
18, 11,
with
sixes.
200
4,
strike rate. Yeah,
4
so
in an over.
under Gambhir quota, he fits in correctly as a a bowler who can bat. So, I mean, Gurnur can edge in the side.
Good enough. Welcome back, Umesh Yadav.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
2-0. But
Kevin,
I pretty strong team. Like if they had a proper number six or number five batter who's batting at number six, I'm telling, I don't think like Sri Lanka can beat India.
BCCI
Because
is undervalued Hanuma Vihari. Like, he fit in.
yeah, but it is unfortunate what happened to him. But he was not banging the door after some time. I would have gone back to Pujara rather than bring in Anuma Vihari because he
He
just
should have batted
fell
three. He
off the
was a good
cliff.
number six. Like, he
he
can
did bat at
play
Yeah.
two
3, right?
sessions.
In those two Sri
Yep.
Lanka tests in
And that
2022 at
I think he
home.
batted at three in against England also in 22.
Yeah, that one-off
That
test
one
which we
test.
One test. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I was hoping that Shreyas Iyer actually groomed into number five, number six batter, but then
he
He
was,
he's
he
not
was,
fit
though
anymore.
his
yeah, he's
back
out.
didn't
Yeah.
allow him. His
He was
back didn't
supposed to
allow
be
him.
the number four, and Gill would have stayed at three if he would. I mean, Shreyas Iyer probably would have been captain, right? So if he was there, he
Yep.
was the captain for the India A tour against Australia until before toss. He's like, nope, I'm out.
What if we use
Okay.
Reddy test to prep him in ODIs? They were planning that, but I'm assuming he's unfit for this series. So if he was fit, he would have made the squad. I feel, especially
Who?
under
Sorry.
Gambhir. Reddy, Nitish Kumar Reddy would
Reddy
have
is
made.
just unfit. He would have slotted in as that number 8 this series, which would have been good enough, right? You sometimes what if you need a third fast bowler to at least give a break for the new ball bowlers? Right? That would have
Yeah.
worked out. And
Yeah,
he's
coming back,
talented enough to play with respect to his batting skills.
like back in the day, you would have like one new player coming in per test series. Now we are
Yeah,
changing bowling lineups,
it's not the
in
batting.
in series. I'm like, what's happening? Like, that's where we are. I don't know what is the right combination because
I
we're
feel
moving
that's
too many
what.
things.
Yeah, in the Shastri Dravid era, which you were saying, like, we brought in Gill, we brought in Prithvi Shah, who did
Yeah.
phenomenally well at the start of either of their careers. Like, the average was insane. I mean, granted, Prithvi Shaw maybe had an advantage, but he did good enough even in England and
Yep.
Australia. So it's fine. He did fail, but
Shaw did well in New Zealand as well. I remember he hit
150. Yeah.
150.
yeah, the
Everybody
50s.
hit 150 in that series. Everybody hit 150.
Yeah,
Apart from
Except
Kohli
Kohli.
and Pant. Yeah, Kohli and Pant. Except Kohli and Pant, everybody hit 150. But
Okay.
yeah, time for the last topic of the day before we end this stream, and it is a fun topic because IPL trade rumors are looming around. But before that, before the rumors, IPL ended on 31st May, if I'm not wrong, and within 20 days, we had the first trade of IPL 2027. Rishabh Pant from LSG 27 CR, who is also famously known for his tweets recently, has been traded to his old franchise Delhi Capitals for Kuldeep Yadav. Kuldeep Yadav moves from DC to LSG and Rishabh Pant moves from LSG to DC. And make no mistake, Rishabh Pant has taken a 12 CR pay cut. That's more than what Kevin took for this show. Just a little more than what Kevin took for this show. But Shabby, I think it's a win for LSG because, anyways, Pant wasn't working in LSG. Yes, they need to change their captain, but again, he was not working as a captain. He hadn't scored any runs. LSG surely needed a wrist spinner after the decline of Digvesh Rathi and his mystery. And Kuldeep Yadav is home ground as well. He's from UP. I think it's a win for LSG and probably not a great trade for DC.
Yeah, yeah, looks like it. I mean, Pant has been really bad in last like two or three seasons, I think, in the IPL. And again, the captaincy absolutely hampered it much more, his batting form basically. So that has definitely not played in the LSG's favors. And I mean, this year, we know like how bad team MI was, and fortunately, LSG was only one team below them. As a MI fan, that felt good, but I mean, LSG was definitely not bound to do that. I mean, LSG was good team on paper. Nicholas Pooran was I mean, one of the best T20 players they had. Your Mitchell Marsh as well, then Markram and all those guys you have, but they were not supposed to do that bad. Don't forget that we have a Indian pacer who is that debuted from the LSG team, Prince Yadav. So
Prince
that
Yadav, yeah.
also they had it covered all the bases. I think I would say so that they were not supposed to do that bad, and one has to blame a bit on the captaincy and bit on the batting form as well. So I think that's why they have taken that big decision to move him out of LSG. And Kuldeep, as you perfectly said, they lacked spinner. LSG lacked spinner, so Kuldeep is a perfect fit for them in the ODI in their squad basically. So he will definitely feature all the matches, and Digvesh Rathi, who is like in and out, so he can groom Digvesh Rathi as well. I feel Kuldeep Yadav. So that is also one big thing, one good thing for the LSG and for the next year. And most importantly, the 12 crores that they are saving now, they can definitely purchase one good middle order batter, I think, which they need. And for Delhi, I think, yeah, I mean, Pant was moved out of Delhi for a reason. I mean, even he was not fitting there properly. He captained them, I remember, before Shreyas Iyer. But yeah, he was not fitting in that squad as well. So not sure what Delhi is going to trying to achieve now with Pant back in the squad. I think they do have good middle order batsmen already in your Tristan Stubbs and who is the one more I just
Miller,
forgot,
Miller,
Miller as
Miller.
well. They have Miller as well. So I think Miller and Pant were same combination in LSG as well 2 years back. So the same thing has happened to Delhi now. So let's see. I mean, what role they have now for him. I think there will be some new role planned for him, maybe in the top of the order, top three or something. I think that's where he came into the pictures when he was playing in the third, number three for Delhi back in 2018, 2019, I feel. So they might go back to that and put in that template for Delhi. And even as an opener, maybe I don't think they have a good opener, Delhi. So they might push Pant to open as well, if at all, if it's required. So let's see what is on cards for Delhi.
Yeah, interesting points there. I think all points make a lot of sense. Nikhil, just real quick on LSG, who should captain them for the next year now with Pant being out? They have multiple options. Mitchell Marsh, Aiden Markram captains their other sister franchises, whether it's Manchester Super Giants and the Durban Super Giants as well, I feel.
Yeah.
And Puran is also has been an international captain, captains the MI teams around the global leagues as well. So but if Markram becomes their captain, the issue is English played well this year. So that's your four overseas. If it's English, Markram, Marsh, Puran, that's again the same issue which caused them problems this year. So I would personally go with Marsh probably because Markram might not fit in the 11.
Yeah, I feel like they have three exceptional international experienced captains here. Marshall's been doing pretty well for Australia. They haven't seen success in the T20 format because Australia just does not give a fuck about the T20 World Cup for some reason. But one challenge is who's a good captain for your bowlers? Kuldeep Yadav is someone who always does well if he has a good captain and a good wicketkeeper. Who does that? None of them have played with Kuldeep Yadav long enough. So it's a big minus for Kuldeep. But because of the combinations that, okay, they have three sorted overseas and who's going to be there, unfortunately for Markram, he's a phenomenal player who should, I mean, if you're backing for the other Super Giant franchises, he should play here as well. That's why I believe Pooran would be the captain. His success for MI and other franchises, irrespective of his bad form in the IPL, means that he's going to play every single game. And because he's someone who comes as a wicket keeper, who like he will always slot in compared to uh, 60% fit Mitchell Marsh, and because of combination, whom you might sub him out, Aiden Markram. Like, compared to those three, who's every single game who's going to be there, at least, even if not a score, who brings that fear factor? Who's going to lead your team? Who's going to always be there throughout the season? That's actually going to be Nicholas Pooran. That's someone who they've backed ever since LSG was there as a franchise. Like, the other players they've kind of semi brought in, they've stuck with them. But if they backed Marsh and Markram so much, they wouldn't have broken the opening combination in the first place. That was a 700-run partnership. So I feel like that's why Pooran will be the captain. And one thing about Delhi is, apart from their already available stats, I'm going to just say the number of batters they have for maybe 5 slots. Okay. Karun Nair, Prithvi Shaw, KL Rahul, Pathum Nisaka, Ashutosh Sharma, David Miller, Tristan Stubbs, Madhav Tiwari, Nitish Rana, Samir Rizvi, and then there's Rishabh Pant. What? You need what? You put one more batter and play 12 with the impact sub. Like, this is not a playing 11. This is not a squad. Like, you're having Delhi openers. You need good backable middle order and like all rounders. You can't be going with 10 batters and playing 4 of them every game, and just because one of them doesn't score, they again drop them and play another because they have players. You can't be doing that. I feel like I missed Abhishek Patel in this, to be really honest. Like,
Yeah.
that's
And
your
then
point. Like,
Sahil Parak as well.
so sad. That guy started first ball, he took strike, got out, his entire confidence is gone. He's so talented. Like, that also means they have 4 wicket keeper openers in this sense. Like, I mean, barring Bendaked, who's kind of put him out there. So what is happening here? Like, you don't need these many batters. You need a good spinner. You let go of Kuldeep. Who's your spinner? Gone. I'm not unable to wrap around what's happening. But one thing I do know is, if it's Ganguly back and Yuvraj Singh also in the mix and as a whole management, it won't be very surprising as Rishabh Pant is made captain again. Like, there's what
That
they're
would be a
bringing him
disaster
in.
again for DC. That would be a disaster.
Like, it won't be surprising because of the change of the staff there. Like, that's a big factor.
Yeah, Jindal is taking the ownership for the next 2 years. Like,
And
he
they
will be
like the local boyish aspect there. Like, Aksar has done. He's been okay. He's always been a good captain. He didn't do well the last couple of seasons where they were in a winning position and then they let go of the playoff spot. That kind of warrants a change in captaincy. But do you think they're gonna give KL Rahul captaincy? I don't think so.
Honestly, I think okay, all three, like Delhi has three captaincy candidates, and none of the three have a good captaincy resume.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Pant has one playoff. I think one,
Yeah,
he
2021.
qualified too. Akshar has no playoff experience. Means nothing, no
Captaincy.
playoffs on his resume, and I think
KL
KL
Rahul
Rahul
is
has one, just one.
23 as well.
Both-
23 was not there.
Krunal.
Yes, Krunal.
Right.
So, so when you see such a structure, and I want to come back, I would like to speak. I think LSG lost the trade. Honestly, LSG, in my opinion,
Why would you say that?
because you let go of a 27 crore player and you sold him to a team for only 15 crores. Okay, if you had sold him for 27, their purse would have taken a big cut, but it's fine. Okay, you sold him for a bit less. You could have asked for an additional Indian batter, or you could have asked for a bowler as well. You could have taken Lungi Negri. You knew how desperate DC was to get Pant. So when you're letting go of Pant, because of course he Pant is like the treasure to DC, but you traded him as trash, but he still had tradable value. You could have gotten any Indian player. If you look at that LSG batting, it's only 3 or 4 overseas guys. Makram
And
is
Badoni.
unfortunate,
And Ayush Badoni. That's it.
and Baduni didn't perform last year. You were banking on him to be a vice captain or captain, so you pushed him to open, and you pushed Marsh down at not Marsh, you pushed Markram down, and after some time, then you brought in a guy Josh Inglis to open, and Markram was batting at 4 or 5, and it's surprising. I thought he would be on the trading block, but Markram is your captain in SA20 and even the 100.
And almost the player of the tournament in the World Cup in India as well. Like, he had a phenomenal World Cup with bat and ball.
Exactly. LSG could like their weakness were Indian players. You had only one good Indian batter, and you let him go for nothing. You could have requested Ashutosh Sharma. You could have asked for maybe Porel. You could have asked for any Indian batter, but you
I
didn't do
think
that.
Ingidi was a good call because
Yeah,
with
Ingrid was
Mohsin
a good.
Khan back, Prince Yadav back, like LSG was, I think, the most successful power play bowling lineup
Bowling
with
side.
like highest
Yeah,
wickets. But look at their winning record. They didn't win. That meant right after their openers were done bowling their 3-3 overs, just went downhill. So Ingidi, with his slower balls and his change of pace, would have been exceptional there.
One,
yeah,
you need an international pacer among that Indian bowling, and you got in good for you. You got in Kuldeep Yadav, but I feel that you need an Indian batter somewhere there, and you could have got an additional player in a trade. But I think they missed that plot. And good luck to DC because I think captaincy is the biggest Achilles heel now at the moment. Because now I look at that top order, I look at Porel and KL opening. I'm hoping that Porel will open.
Nah.
Porel slash Rana because they ended the season with Porel opening.
yeah.
So it's one of the two. Pant, I feel, is number three. Pant is going to be back for 14 games at number three. At four, you will have maybe Stubbs. Five, Miller. Six, you would have Akshar. Something along those lines. And seven is
So
Seven
Ashutosh.
Rana's out
Ashutosh.
again.
Sorry?
So
So the
basically,
player they
Rana,
traded from Rajasthan,
Samir
Rana's out
Rizvi,
again.
Rana,
No.
Samir Rizvi, and one of the other guys which you mentioned, Sahil Parag sits out. Prithvi Shaw obviously
Yes.
was sitting out
I
for
feel
so many.
Karunar is just gone. It's sad for
Karun
him. He
Nair,
would
I
have.
think, yeah, Karun
No, I
Nair
don't
is.
think he is. Yeah, he is out. One of, I think, Porel or Rana might get traded, I feel, or might return back to the auction.
Oh.
One. And and in my opinion, I feel I want KKR to go for one of these two guys. I hope they pull off a trade to get either Porel or Nitish Rana. You either get a keeper batter or you get a captain.
No, it's
But
very
KKR
good
has
because they
to.
got a left-handed keeper in a sense. If they let go of either Rana or I mean, KKR badly needs both of those. They would love to have a spin basher at Rana. They would like to have a wicket-keeper opener at Porel.
In my opinion, I think DC won the trade. You got a very good player for nothing, for just 15 crores. And Kuldeep,
Yes.
I feel, was struggling on not struggling. He'll be much more happier to bowl in Lucknow as compared to
Lucknow.
bowling in Delhi. So
True.
he will be the first choice bowler for Lucknow, which in Delhi he was not because you had Stahak, you had Nigri, you had Akshar, and then he was coming, and I don't think
Natu was
he
bowling
did
before him.
well when. Yes, exactly. So he was like it was all the players were, if they had the batter had to take a chance, it had to be Kuldeep. And if Kuldeep was not small ground, he was not in his best rhythm, he was going to get hit for runs. So yeah, I think Delhi will be very happy. But Lucknow, I hope they make a trade for Hardik. And that's where before Shabby leaves, I want to
Yeah, yeah. I was
interest
just
him in that
coming to that.
discussion.
Shabby has to leave in 5 minutes. So before he leaves, Shabby, as a MI fan, the rumors are obviously out there. Hardik Pandya is going to leave Mumbai Indians. It was obvious after what happened in 2026 with MI finishing second last. How do you see it, and where do you see Hardik Pandya going? The rumors right now are KKR, CSK, or any other destination. First of all, I'm assuming you're not happy. So who is MI's next captain?
Okay, I mean, next captain prediction is bit tricky right now because even Sky have some trade rumors, is what I heard. I mean, I
Correct.
think he I
Yeah,
also unfollowed in between the MI pages and all that, but again he started following. But again, I have very recently I've seen that the trade rumors are still on for Sky as well. So difficult to say right now whether Sky will really stay with the MI and whether he will get the captaincy because because he has also lost the India captaincy now. So a bit tricky on that front. We know that MI does value their old horses, I mean, their legacy players, but they have to look into the future now. And based on that, like how they handed over the captaincy to young Rohit Sharma in 2013, they might look into doing the same in the next season. I feel handing over to someone young like Tilak Verma or
Tilak
something.
Verma.
Yeah, exactly. So I think MI should go into that way instead of handing over the captaincy again to some old horses like Sky or Rohit Sharma. So that is one thing. Then talking about the Hardik Pandya, I mean, uh, the most logical and most, I mean, the perfect trade would be the KKR, I think, which is the latest rumor that we have. CSK is, I think, a bit tapered off now, CSK rumor, because of the the CSK was not giving ready to give some players that MI wanted, right? So I think that is not going to happen. But KKR is like perfect fit for Hardik Pandya, and as well as the Hardik Pandya is a perfect fit for KKR. I feel now that Rahane has also resigned from all the formats, they need a captain, they need a all rounder, they need a brand value. Along with the Shah Rukh Khan, so I think Hardik Pandya properly fits there. Good current Johor relations as well there, and so I think he can make a Bollywood debut as well going ahead. So I mean, I can't see any perfect fit for both the parties there, Hardik Pandya and KKR. So that should happen. I feel now again the point comes at who should will be he traded with basically, and again the talk should go into
I
uh,
think only Shah Rukh
that.
Khan can match the trade amount. Shah Rukh Khan
Yeah, sorry.
himself should be traded. Shah Rukh Khan himself should be traded to MI.
I mean, I hope he has a permission to Wankhede now. I mean, that ban is lifted, but again, to be on the serious side, I think again the rumors were of the Cameron Green and maybe, but again, MI doesn't have the overseas slot
Lord.
open, so again that 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 creates some problems. So in terms of Indians, I think there is Angikrish Raghuvanshi who is a homeboy for Mumbai. Then I think there is Rinku Singh maybe who is like equal importance of the equal brand value in terms of Indian team. So I think he can also be looked into. But again, I am also confused right now that whom Hardik Pandya can be traded with. Maybe we can discuss that right now. Right? What would be the correct options for Hardik Pandya to trade with the MI?
Yeah, Kevin has a lot of options. Kevin, let's go. What are your options?
No, I'll ask Chabi, like, as a Mumbai fan, which two players he wants from KKR, in exchange for Hardik Pandya? Two players which you think
See, I
deserve the
mean,
value.
so MI is definitely lacking finisher these days since the departure of Pollard and again now Hardik. So Rinku is definitely one guy that is coming into my mind as a pure finisher, number six, number seven, whatever the position is. And apart from that, I think we definitely don't need top order batter, right? So Angikrish actually not fitting in that sense, I feel. So then if I go back to the ballers, I mean Harshit Rana, what could I
So
say?
Rana plus Rinku is what Shabby is suggesting. Kevin, what
Yeah.
are you offering? As a KKR fan, for now, what
I'll
are you
have to.
offering?
Yeah. So there's no way Rinku is going. Absolutely
Okay.
no way. And Mumbai don't will not even ask for Rinku because they already have Tilak Varma, and I think they will look at to
Shelfie and
play.
Rutherford, they have another left-handed finisher.
Yes. So the problem I feel in my is that number three spot, and if they push Naman here to number three, and you have Sky at four, Tilak at five, and you have Rutherford at six, you're pretty sorted. You need bowlers, and if I was KKR, I'll try to offer you Harshit Rana slash what you can say is Varun Chakravarti because Varun
How
is
about
35.
Tyagi plus Chakravarti? Tyagi plus
I
Chakravarti.
don't think MI would be interested in Tyagi. I can offer them, but I don't think Mumbai would be interested because
Mumbai
I'm
would
looking at
happily just
Bumrah.
scout another fast bowler instead of going for an experienced Yagi, ideally.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah,
even if KKR offer Mumbai can keep him, he's at a 20 lakh or 30 lakh contract. I don't
Yeah,
think
30 lakh, 30 lakh, yeah.
so the only way that Mumbai would be interested, you are looking at either give me Varun Chakravarti as a spinner, but I'm not sure whether do you have Alak Gazanfar. Do you think Varun
And
Chakravarti is
how
better than
effective
Gazanfar?
would
Not sure. In one kade.
and and in one could exactly how effective would Varun be? I'm doubtful.
So Harshad Rana for me is I'm okay to give it, but Mumbai also I think should be interested in Harshad Rana because now you look at Harshad bowling with Bumrah. I think that is a good combo,
yeah.
and you can
In a
get a
sense,
replacement for
bowling
both.
wise, like for Hardik, I think you're right.
Yes. So and no. Besides that, I don't think Cam Green makes sense because availability is an issue. And where are you going to fit him? I don't think Raghuvanshi, I thought about it just because of that Mumbai connect. Because you're having two aged players from Mumbai going out, and Raghuvanshi looks like a future. So if you're not keen on having Namandhir at number three, then you trade ask for Rana slash Raghuvanshi and have Raghuvanshi bat at number three for you. But my personal opinion, I feel that Mumbai should be more interested in trading
Both.
Hardik to LSG rather than trading him to KKR because KKR, whatever KKR is going to offer you, is not going to be of any
So
value.
what can LSG offer? Mohsin Khan and
You could go for Mohsin. You could even ask Puran actually.
Mohsin Khan and
Just
Pooran.
yeah, you could, because for it's not going to happen. Definitely, they won't ask for Puran. It doesn't make sense. But
Yeah.
you could ask for Prince Yadav. You could and Mohsin. That is not a bad combination in my opinion.
I think Mumbai would be
Nikhil,
happy
as
there.
a
Mumbai is
CSK fan,
pretty
what are you
greedy, man.
offering? As a CSK fan, what are you offering, Nikhil?
None. Like Mumbai is asking for Matre and Dubey. In what world would any franchise offer that? I'm sorry. So none of them is gonna go there. I mean, I feel like Hardik to Dubey could have been a like for like trade in a sense. And is just that does CSK need a player like Hardik? Not really, but Hardik was interested in CSK was the buzz.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
feel like what does Mumbai need with respect to we forget about the fact that they have Will Jacks who can comfortably bat at 3 or 4, like Shabby. And Mumbai has a problem that they have extremely good overseas all-rounders and they're not able to find the right combination. They have Jacks, they have Santner, they had Corbin Bush who didn't even
Corbin
play
Bosch.
like
Yeah.
5 games. And then, I mean, Gazanford did well enough for them. So, the moment Santner was injured, they're like, thank God we can drop an overseas spinner. So, I feel like we're going to be expecting some drops from Mumbai with respect to their overseas stocks. One of Santner or Bosch is going to be out, in my opinion, because I feel they'll back player like Will Jacks. And considering they have QDK, Rickleton, etc., like they wouldn't be looking for another overseas top order bat because they have enough resources. Raghuvanshi fits the bill because he's Mumbai, but again they would like someone like an Indian top order bat to maybe replace an aging Sky and a Rohit. But otherwise, they definitely need bowlers more than anything. Like Shardul and Deepak fit the bill on paper, but they're not skilled enough, sadly, at this point. I
Yeah.
feel like Hardik was very happy when the moment Shardul was like, yeah, this is going to be your franchise until then finally you're back at home playing for Mumbai. But unfortunately, if you don't have a fit and firing Bumrah, and I mean, now Hardik is also going to be leaving, that's the whole point. You need someone who fits that bill, and I feel like KKR giving Harshit Rana would maybe help, but a better resource is LSG. Like they're the stop. The LSG or DC are the only teams who have that good enough fast bowler who can help you with that. So like
From,
I don't think
from
Rajasthan comes into the picture like they were offering just like that wouldn't make sense for Rajasthan. They have good enough resources, they're kind of happy with it. So LSG and KKR might be the only ones who would also love having a player like Hardik and can afford to give some fast bowlers. If KKR provide Varun Chakravarti, that kind of sees. I feel as Mumbai, I'd be happy if I get Varun Chakravarti and just give Hardik, and that should be good enough because of the value VC brings. But I don't think KKR would let go of Varun Chakravarti. That's a big thing there. They
yeah,
would never let go of Narayan. They would never Narayan. They would rather retire Russell and keep him as a coach than letting him go. That's the kind of KKR is really good to their players in that sense. They also wanted Venkatesh Iyer back. That's why they got like. It's always a thing. They always go back for their players, like what Mumbai kind of does. So it's going to be hard for them letting go of Varun. Harshit Rana makes sense for Mumbai. So if KKR badly needs Hardik because they need a captain at a brand value and all that coming into the picture, they might let go of him.
yeah. Just to strengthen my argument on LSG, I'm ready to even give Kuldeep Yadav. I'm not joking.
Give
I,
it and then pass it away.
no, I'm not
Mumbai would be
joking
happy
because
with Kuldeep. Imagine Kuldeep playing under Sky and Rohit. Kuldeep would
e-
do so well under both of them.
exactly. So just spice it up. I don't mind. Like I don't mind bringing in Hardik at the expense of Kuldeep Yadav, because
But
I'm
that
looking at a
wouldn't fit
leader.
though. Like Kuldeep and maybe
No,
a pacer.
yeah,
Kuldeep and a pacer for Hardik,
Yeah,
LSG
Arjun Tendulkar. Give them Arjun Tendulkar back. I think that
back.
makes sense.
I
I
feel
was
like
going to go
Arjun
there.
Tendulkar could
I was
have
going to
played
go
a
three bowlers. I was going to go with Arjun. Arjun bowled well. Keep the
Yeah, in the
Tendulkar
last
back,
game,
Arjun can
left
they,
arm
bat.
off.
Arjun
yeah.
can definitely bat. Look at his scores under Yogaraj Singh. Like he's phenomenally improved as a batter.
Yuvraj
Very
Singh
good.
said he's a batter who should bowl.
He bats really well, dude. He hits monstrous sixes. But I think what does I mean, yeah, jokes apart, like what does
Yeah.
Mumbai need? They need bowlers rather than I mean, the batting was glaringly bad, but it's like poor and going out of form. All their batters are good batters. They didn't just together they didn't play well. But their bowling was extremely bad. Every single game, I think they were going 11 runs per over.
Yeah.
That's not a
Yeah.
squad at all.
Yeah.
Where
The
Allah
worst.
Ghaznfar was your most economical bowler because he went at 8.
Kevin,
That's
if
not so.
Shreyas is listening, how about Jaiswal for Hardik? What are your
No,
thoughts
I
on that?
thought about it. I'm completely sold on that. I don't mind
Yeah,
it, but I just want to come back to one point that she, my worst fear is that because there's no interest in the trade market, then Mumbai agrees to trading of Hardik to KKR for a bag of chips. Because if they release him, then anyway not getting anything. So might as well
Yeah.
just get a Harshid Rana or a Vaibhav Arora type player. That's my worst fear. But
Mumbai as a franchise has always been greedy. So there's a reason they wouldn't be okay with it. If they were
yeah.
okay with a bag of chips, the CSKMI deal would have happened instantly. They really, really wanted Matre and Dubey.
Yeah, but I'm surprised they won't Dubey. Matre is a really a good call, good shout out.
But
But I'm
again,
surprised they.
Mumbai, local talent, again, a
Yeah.
spin hitter who can hit in
Yeah,
Wankhede.
it solves a problem also because he plays spin well, so it solves a problem. But like coming
Yeah.
back to Rajasthan, I don't mind that. I don't mind letting go of Jaiswal because my problem is I cannot retain Jaiswal in 27.
You know what?
After
One
27,
If Jaiswal just does go to Mumbai, I think Jaiswal's international career would be on a different level
skyrocket,
altogether.
It will
skyrocket.
take off.
Because we're not considering the fact that in 28, when Mumbai enters the mega auction, they're looking at openers. And just getting in Jaiswal now
Imagine
makes
getting
no
him now
sense.
rather than putting it open.
Exactly. So that's why they're asking for Matre because he opens. I cannot see any other Indian, a good Indian player who could Mumbai request for.
I know a
As a
Mumbai guy who
replacement.
was a prodigy who they could ask. Prithvi Shaw.
Shaw, Prithvi Shaw.
No, he went unsold. I thought he would Mumbai would buy him last year because he is.
Yeah, they
Nobody
could have bought
believes
it.
in him
Could have
again.
bought
They
it.
That's the
could
big
have, but
problem.
they just didn't want him. Like
They
honestly,
have
like
Danish Malewar. They have Danish Malewar.
Yeah, those were scouts because they still. I feel
they have Robin
irrespective,
Wins also.
Rohit Sharma will play IPL for the next 3 years,
I
and
don't
Rohit
think so.
Sharma would
No, I
not
don't
play
think
for
so.
another franchise.
Yeah, they'll force him to retirement, like with the same thing with
Yeah,
Exactly.
Hardik
next
Pandya.
So
year.
That's the
either he
problem.
Yeah.
retires or if
He
he's gonna play
retires.
IPL, it's gotta be for Mumbai. Like he would not play anywhere else.
Like with
That's
Dhoni, you could still retain him as an uncapped player. You can't retain Rohit Sharma. So that's the hard part. So I don't
I
see
don't
him
know
playing after
if
27.
either would be going for a pay cut situation there as well, right? Like that would help Mumbai as a franchise. But I feel like Mumbai is fine. Mumbai is definitely gonna just release Bolt. They're gonna release Santner. They don't.
Super share.
The problem with the impact player era is we don't value players like Aiden Markram, Washington
Yep.
Sundar, Mitchell Santner, the finger spinner all rounders. These are rarities. They go to their international size and they're the best player. Fine, Washington Sundar isn't valued enough in Indian cricket and given opportunities aren't that well. But Washington Sundar as a new ball bowler was the best. His rankings were, I think, he was in the top 5 in India when he was, at least on paper, he was under 23. So, like, impact player has ruined these finger spinners so, including spinners, to be honest, in general. Like, because LSG, Digvesh Rathi was a one season hit and he hasn't done well in his domestic, but like M. Siddharth comes in as an impact player, bowls those 2 overs, 3 overs. He's done very well. George Day was a backup because Hasaranga has been. I feel Hasaranga should just pull out of IPL anyway. But
Hasaranga will not come as long as he gets only 2 CR.
that's fair, dude. For the value he brings, he's also a captaincy candidate in Sri Lanka. So he brings that experience as well. He's not going to captain
How many
IPL, but
captaincy? How many captaincy candidates does LSG have?
LSG
They're
needs.
all overseas players. They're all overseas
I
all
players.
think
over
they
this
should appoint Ayush Badoni as captain, who captained Virat Kohli in his last first class game.
No,
Baroni is a very good player. I feel,
I,
I don't know,
he
man.
got, see the
Players
thing,
like,
he's
but
like in basketball, you have like the third best scorer. He's the third best batter. He has to be the third or fourth best player. He can't be the number one face. He can't be the number one Indian talent at the moment. He needs
but he's
more
been
time.
the third best player for like 5 years now.
He was
He
when he batted at number 5, 6, not at 3 and 4. He's your
that
more damage
was
control player
Yeah, that
because
was
if you
trying to
see
fill a
LSG,
gap. He did well enough
LSG,
though for the capabilities he had. He did justice, but not in like flat pitch impact player IPL. It doesn't work.
you,
You're
you,
way behind other teams.
like LSG, like like they had such good resources. They used their RTM options better in 25, they would have been pretty good. Last year, everyone knew, like instead of releasing Bishnoi, if they had tried to trade Bishnoi off to Rajasthan, they could have got, at least a good overseas player or something like, or an they could have looked at that option. I think they could have asked for Sam Curran. I don't know, but
I feel the
coming back
one thing
to
which is
yeah,
important in IPL is not even player retention, management retention. Like that
yes,
decides everything for them. Imagine if, I mean, fine, Gautam Gambhir was passed on. I agree, he went to KKR and he won the trophy for them. Andy Flower was passed on.
Andy Flower. They shouldn't have
What are
let go
you
of Andy Flower
doing? Two playoff
for Langer.
seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
LSG
mean,
made a huge
so
blunder.
even if they're sticking with Langer and Moody work together really well. Like that is a combination. They bring in the Australian talent, they go okay, but at least give them a 3 4 year cycle. But LSG is not known to do that. That's the big LSG and Punjab. Both of these franchises are not known to retain players. I don't even know how long Ponting would be there because
No, no,
he
He has 4
promised a
year contract.
season.
He has
Oh,
a
even
he
four
after
will
year
that,
be. He'll be.
it'll be done after that.
My biggest fear is that Shreyas Iyer in 28 is not retained by Punjab. My biggest
Then
fear is
he'll
that
go to
because
LSG and win them a title.
And then again released. Yeah, he's just man's just collecting finals. He'll go to the finals and then he'll be like, I feel I could get a better salary anyway, and then he'll leave. He'll get 30 crore next time.
yeah, but I'm happy that Punjab has become a force. It makes the league interesting. LSG is still the butt of jokes. There's nothing. RR is this.
Yeah, it
they're
was
grooming talent.
pretty shocking. Punjab didn't qualify.
Yeah, it was disappointing, but I don't see anything they can do. I don't think they're interested in trades. They won't do anything.
They have
They
a
have
sense
really good
squad.
Aussie talent, which is good. But I
If
was
they
coming back to
play in one
Rajasthan.
venue, they'll win, dude. Like honestly
Yeah.
speaking, like they need
See,
one home venue. It doesn't work to
if,
just switch.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
so
no, like
just to
Rajasthan, like if you see, I feel that Rajasthan needs leadership. They need a good leadership candidate on the field, and that's where I don't mind letting go of Jaiswal for Hardik. At that price, it makes sense because
Yeah,
you
if
have
Parag isn't available and absence of Samson, of course. So I think Hardik might be over. I feel
yeah
they should
because
back Parag as a captain, irrespective. I mean, it's fine. Like back him. Let's see what
yeah,
happens.
that's that. Yeah, but it depends. Like because all the kids are of the same age, and all of them have captaincy
Joel.
aspirations. So like and just like it depends. Like, what am I going to do by not retaining by not going for this trade and letting go of Jaiswal now for Hardik? I might lose Jaiswal anyway in 28. There's no way I'm going to retain him. So might as well have Hardik. And I don't think Parag is that type of player who would want to move out of Rajasthan just because he's not getting captaincy. I think he will.
Hope
He
not.
would like to hang out.
I feel like
I think
Parag could be their brand name. He kind of is in this sense.
he is. So he's never going to leave. And I don't think he would mind to wait on for another 2 years, be the vice captain, and then lead a team. Because I think currently his goal is to enter the Indian team. It's not to be Rajasthan Royals
Right.
captain. He
That's a
does. He would
big
not
personal
want.
quality because I feel the whole Samson out also happened because Parag was available as a captain.
Yes, exactly. And I don't think he wanted it as much as Rajasthan pushed him into that role. I
Interesting.
don't think he was craving for it. But if you see Rajasthan, like with the squad that they had, and with Jaiswal not performing, also they made it to the
Impressive.
playoffs.
They
Yes,
were carried by two players, best batter, best bowler.
yes.
Like
So I don't mind going having an overseas player up there to bat with Suryavanshi. Have Jurel 3, 4, Parag 5. Maybe bring in Hardik. You have Jadeja 6. You have two good players now, two good all
I
rounders.
mean, we're missing that Curran didn't play this season. They have Ferreira and Curran.
Yeah, my
So
biggest concern is that there is news that Sam Curran wants to get out of Rajasthan.
Sam Curran is not fit at this point, and it's so what happens is Sam Curran would be beneficial for him to pull out of the IPL because with Ben Stokes unavailable at the Test squad, there's a big gap to fill as an all
Yep,
rounder. If Sam Curran
yep.
gets fit, he would rather play for English Test cricket rather than playing the IPL. It's important for him
Yeah,
to
because
play.
he's getting 2.4 crores. He's not interested. And he's now considered, he is the number one all round, I think, in T20s. He's doing well everywhere. He
Yeah,
did
he's
well
doing
today
well
also,
everywhere.
Bumala.
He's still not bowling. He played the domestic one day tournament for them, and but he's bowling in the 100, I guess.
Yeah, so I feel that Rajasthan, I think like if in case KKR doesn't offer something interesting and LSG is also on the fence, there's no other team besides Rajasthan who should look into this Hardik Pandya trade. Whether they go with it, it's a different discussion altogether.
I don't think Mumbai will be
But
happy with just Jaiswal. That's
I
again,
think so. They should.
they
You're,
should.
you're getting an you're get, and where you getting where are you going to make the cap from? Jaswal is at 18. So
That's
yeah, you
fair.
can let go of Bolt, but I don't think Rajasthan would agree for another player.
I'll be happy with Bolt though, like their player, their stalwart.
No, no, he's on the decline. Like Bolt is
Rajasthan would like it. That's the problem, right?
no. I Who was the second pace? Burger.
Burger is
Unable.
very.
They had Nandra
I
Burger.
think it's
Imagine if
important.
if Mumbai asked for Nandra Burger, you get a left armer to replace Bolt.
Good replacement for Bolt.
You
Yeah,
If
get
it's
Jaiswal
Burger
plus.
and Jaiswal, I mean, it's too much of money
it's
there.
too
But
much.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's too much. But yeah.
Yeah,
So
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 just to
let's
end the discussion, where is Hardik Pandya going? Nikhil, final thoughts?
I mean,
And what is the offer?
I feel the most sensible thing for IPL is KKR.
yeah.
Like, irrespective of Mumbai, I think Mumbai will also be happy with getting. I mean, they won't ask for Rinku, they won't get Rinku, but if they get Varun, I mean, if they get Harshit Rana and a cash deal, or Harshit Rana and Tejasvi Singh Dahiya or someone like a finisher, Mumbai likes their young finishers as well. And Robin Mins hasn't is an opener. He doesn't fit in a number seven as an impact player anyway. So if they get Harshit Rana and an uncapped batter, if Hardik goes to KKR, it's kind of a win-win for them. So I feel that's the best trade for both teams, unless LSG or RR are giving some known faces there. I don't think RR would be happy with Hardik in a sense because their middle order stocks are insane. If Hardik comes into the picture, it doesn't. They're letting go of someone of value. Like they would be happy to let go of Jaiswal like this, but they'd rather sell it to another franchise where they could get something of better value for them. Hardik is such a good player that he could fit in anywhere, but does Rajasthan need him considering they at least have Karan in the mix and then Donovan Ferreira and then fit Parag and then Jadeja? Do they need Hardik Pandya? Then it'll become Gautam Gambhir's team of five all-rounders. They don't need that.
Kevin, your final thoughts? Hardik to KKR?
No, there's no way Hardik is going to KKR in my opinion. So he could go to KKR, but there's nothing KKR is going to get leave. There's no way Harshit Rana goes because Gambhir won't let that happen. There's no way Arun Chakravarti
Gambhir is
plays in
not
another
a part
jersey.
of KKR anymore.
No, but still, come on, like it's not going to happen. Like he's so Rinku and Rinku and Rana are the two players whom KKR have who are playing who
That's
want to play
true. That's
consistent
true.
cricket for India and in international. Varun Chakravarti is the only thing which is possible, but there's no way that KKR will let him go. Him and Narayan, they will.
Varun
It's not going to
and
happen.
no, I mean, yeah, if they're not going to let go of their, which KKR does value their players, to be honest, they wouldn't just let go of them. That's one of their problems, I guess, for them. But they're a really good franchise in retaining their players.
Yeah. Just I had a quick question. Is it possible that Sky gets traded off and Hardik stays? Is that possible, or Hardik has to leave?
I think Hardik is leaving for sure.
Yeah, I hope he goes to LSG. Honestly, my personal thing is that LSG has some value that they can trade off, and it's
True.
best that he goes to LSG rather than or Rajasthan rather than go to KKR, because if he goes to KKR, of course KKR gets strong, but it'll just be because a player forced his way out of a team, and it'll just be like a GTMI kind of trade where GT got nothing, but MI were pretty happy, and that was not good for the league in my opinion. So
But GT
yeah.
made two playoffs after that. MI has managed only one.
Yeah, because they got cursed, I think. So that's why they're getting rid of the curse.
True. True.
so,
So we'll
so they'll
see.
be like, hey, like we got him for a bag of chips. So let's trade him away for a bag of chips.
Let's see
Undervalued
how
It's
his
like,
it goes.
name.
yeah. What
Hardik.
is that? It was like the curse of the black pearl.
Yeah.
The curse of the black pearl. So
Too
yeah,
many
I
but
miles in the Mumbai camp.
yeah, I feel if my personal opinion is if Sam Curran doesn't show up, or there are some rumors of Sam Curran wanting out of Rajasthan. If that happens, and maybe Rajasthan will look at that. Will look at that trade.
But if they're letting go of Jaiswal, wouldn't they need the purse for an overseas opener?
Who is
The
that
thing is,
overseas opener which you're talking about?
Like, I assume one of
they could
the
request.
Americans would
Quinn
get a.
Allen.
They could request for Decock. I don't think Rickelton is moving out. One
Yeah,
of them
so there's
is,
Dickok.
Yeah,
What if one
Decock,
of Allen or
Decock is
Seifert
still
moves
there.
out of KKR to make a
yeah. I
purse?
hope they don't make the stupid mistake of banking on the 20-year-old kid from South Africa. He's still young.
Luhan de Pretorius. He
Yeah.
he hasn't he did well in 250s in the
MLC.
100. No, he did
MLC
well in the
play
MLC.
best
Yeah,
player, yeah.
yeah. MLC played well. He has hit 250s in this 100, but his team is last. London Spirit is knocked out.
Yeah. So,
BK.
yeah. So yeah, but Rajasthan could like, and they have in Bishnoi. So I don't know if they'll give Bishnoi, and Mumbai will be happy with just a Bishnoi.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's
Rajasthan
not
Royals,
happen.
Sangakkara, if you're listening, Kevin has some interesting business propositions with his thinking cap on, and you can offer him a bit more than what we offer, and he can
Dude, what
join.
about Tushar Deshpande? Tushar Deshpande, Mumbai blood.
Mumbai boy, yeah, Jaiswal and Tushar Deshpande, Mumbai boys to Mumbai Indians for Hardik Pandya. That's a trade proposition which Kevin has suggested. Nikhil says CSK are not offering anything, not even the Shivam Dubey, is
I
what
feel
Nikhil
like
said.
if CSK believes in that KKR is again an emotional franchise who doesn't let go of their players, so the trade might not happen. That's a valid point, but like I feel like MI and KKR would be happy if the trade happens. KKR should kind of let go at least one of their regulars so they can get Hardik as a captain and all rounder. They lack all rounders. Like one of KKR's major problem, even with an impact player, was they had I think six pure batters, Rinku batting at 5 or 6 and not bowling, and then four pure bowlers. Even if it's Mustafizur, okay, fine. Even if it's Patirana coming back, it's again a pure bowler. You're not getting an all rounder back here, so they need all rounders. Okay,
They have theoretical opener. They have theoretical all-rounders.
Ramandeep Singh, what does he
Ramandeep
do
Singh
in
is
the
an
team?
all-rounder. Yeah, like me and Kulkarni sir have gone back and forth a lot on why KKR and should not have gone with Ramandeep as their
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
sixth retention. They could have not retained him. They could have just kept that spot open. Whoever wanted Shreyas Iyer RTM, whoever wanted Phil Salt RTM, whoever wanted Stark RTM, they just blew it up with
It's so
Ramandeep Singh for
sad.
4 crores. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that
was
was a
like,
bad call. I don't know. I'm very curious about what kind of retention Sunrisers as a franchise does because they have a lot of gaping holes, but it worked out for them.
yeah,
They were tough.
I was thinking whether they would be interested in Hardik Pandya trade and they would let go of Ishan Kishan. I honestly thought about it. That's
They
a
have
freaking
two really good
yeah.
overseas all-rounders who don't get enough chance in IPL. Like again, Liam Livingston didn't play enough, but they have come into win this, who's an exceptional all-rounder, especially in India conditions. He doesn't play enough games.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. Because
confusing.
now with Cummins not coming back, because my discussion with respect to the trade is all about availability. Aussie players
Yeah,
not
Cummins for
coming.
Hardik
We
is a
want.
great switch. It's phenomenal, but even if
It's not gonna
Cummins
happen.
comes
It's not
and
gonna happen.
it comes with a stretcher, they'd let him captain because that's the value he brings in. And I don't think they'd want to disturb. Like Kishan did very good as a captain in the absence of Cummins. They wouldn't want to mess that up in a sense. So
Yeah, the
SRH
saddest
doesn't
part
need.
about Hardik Pandya is like the number of teams who now want to trade for him, who are not going to bid for him. That's the biggest problem with the Hardik Pandya trade. If it had been
Hardik
any
is
other
too
player,
good. The value doesn't match from other teams, dude. It's disappointing for him as a player.
exactly, and
Like,
and like GT would have been good. GT needs an all rounder, but this guy he moved out of GT, so GT is not going back to him. Punjab doesn't have the what you can say is the resources, and
yeah.
yeah, CSK is not interested. SRH don't have you can say anything that they would be willing to let go. Yeah, and
CSK is
KKR just have
interesting. I
money.
mean, if
KKR just have
only
money and Cam Green. That's it. KKR just and Mumbai is not going to go back for Cam Green,
yeah, that would solve a lot of problems. Like Hardik to Cam Green would on paper make a lot of
Yeah.
sense. I don't know if Cam Green is going to bowl, but on paper it makes a lot of sense.
No, availability. Availability is a big issue. If he was available, they would have considered it. But I
Australia
think Corbin
Quinn
Bosch
test
is more
lineup.
important, is more better
Ashes and a World
option.
Cup coming. Why would Cam Green play IPL?
Yeah. Lot of fun discussion. Hardik Pandya, where he goes, we are not quite sure yet, but the rumors are on, the trade talks are on. Either KKR, either CSK, or some other team. We will find that out hopefully by the time next time we are live. We'll plan to do this on 22nd August again when the first test is over, and we will discuss about that, and we'll see how everybody's prediction is lining up, whether it's 1-1, 2-0, or 0-2. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you, Kevin. And obviously, thank you, Shabby, as well, who had to leave early but made some interesting points. And I hope you guys will be back for the next episode of Cricket Addicts. Do like, share, and subscribe to Cricket Adda. Thank you very much.